Right.
So, I think they're drawing around this corner here. Yes.
All right. Well,
We're live for the
we're
second
live. Draw 2 of the Rick Rowsell Classic. We got the ladies. We got Kaylee Locke throwing the blue rocks and Wendy Dunne throwing the yellow, who got hammered this evening. So it should be an interesting game tonight.
Actually, that's wrong. Wendy does not have hammer.
Oh. Well, I am misinformed, but I am going to blame my sidekick, Evan, here. He plugged it in. I'm Scott Eaton coming to you live from the St. John's Curling Club in St. John's. No doubt.
Well, Kaylee Locke, Team Locke has hammer here in this first day.
That is absolutely correct, though. Blue does have hammer. Yep.
And Team Locke there on their previous one trying to draw around that corner guard that was accidentally put up by Team Dunne on the first one. And comes up a little short.
So early on, we got 2 corners on the right-hand side, so that's an advantage certainly for Kaylee Locke.
Yep.
All the play to the wings thus far as Wendy's goes through there.
That's not an ideal start, but it's like
It's
the game.
not an ideal start. We noticed earlier today that the first end got sort of lightning quick, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a few heavy ones early.
Yeah, we were getting up in the close to 16 range for the first couple of ends, and then it came back down to more sensible later on.
Looking pretty good to come around the 2 corner guards here on the right-hand side. They can finish this.
Looks like a good one. A little
Pretty
deep,
good.
but pretty good. Dead buried.
What do we say about those deep rocks behind the corner guards, Evan? You got to make room for more of
Oh,
them.
exactly. You can always put another one back there.
It does open up the freeze, of course, but if you want to score big points behind corner guards, you do need lots of room.
Oh, you're kind of forcing Wendy to freeze this here too.
Yeah,
so.
100%. And like I said, obviously with the ice being as quick as it is, it's not always a bad thing to try early.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely not ideal when you don't have hammer to be going around corner guards, but sometimes you kind of have to.
This looks like a good freeze coming up here,
This does look like a pretty good one. Even if
they
it's
can
not,
curl it up a bit.
it's probably close to wide open.
It's a little. Yeah, she's calling for the hit and roll here.
Yeah. So
On the
quite
inside,
get buried
didn't
there.
quite get finished. Perfect weight though.
Now, this sheet in particular, this is
We're on
going to
sheet
be
3.
this is going to be the swingier of the 2 turns. Should be, at least it has been all year.
Is true to my experience as well.
Yeah.
Is that the board sort of sheet 2 side has been a little bit straighter than the other side.
Yeah, we're kind of coming off the middle of the building.
Yeah. And as noted, this rock is over curling into
sure
the
racking
yellow
guard somewhere.
corner. Yep.
Now, if the roll is in, it's actually
That's
not
not a
bad.
horrible miss at all. No. Get 2 counters. You still got your corner guard.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of dealing with the yellow one there on the top 4.
Realistically, for team down here, they probably should hit the one that just rolled in and rolled a second shot if possible.
It's not a bad call at all. Yep.
Yeah. You're flirting with giving up 3 if you don't make something move. So.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could get real cute and try and draw in again. But you're probably
this would be my call.
Oh, yeah, it's mine as well. Yeah. Sweeping this, it's looking like it's gonna roll out on the other side. So now Kaylee's got a hit and roll in here to lie 2 buried behind the corner guard. Makes this, it'll be it's not a pretty sight for Wendy in the first end.
No, that was a bit of an unfortunate error there. You really did have to try to stick around on that.
Yeah. 100%. Well, this is hanging out there as well.
Yeah, so it's not as much curl as I would have expected from this. Well, this might jam, actually.
I think it's going to hit it. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
A bad break there. Still shot by the looks of it. You never know. Could go jam for jam.
We could go jam for jam here. You pretty much have to roll to the right underneath that corner. I don't think you're.
Well, for Wendy, you can roll. You can roll to the open side.
You
here.
could,
That's
yeah.
fine too.
Yeah, you really just don't want to jam this on your own.
Yeah.
Hook.
Yeah.
That would be
Easier said than
ideal.
done, though, Evan.
It is, yeah.
Especially in the first end, you're still
Yeah.
figuring out where to put the broom.
I'm a
where
pretty big
it's got the
proponent of
frost
trying
and-
to keep it open in the first, just to get the ice broken in everywhere.
Yep.
Because with only one rock each for pregame practice, you're really only wearing it into one drop path, and then everywhere else is an unknown.
Some spots get a little sticky for sure.
Pretty close.
It's a great shot.
There you go. So
Perfectly
if it sits
split.
around here, yeah. Now there's no double for
There
sure.
is, well,
In
it's
fact,
guarded.
It's partially
partially
buried.
guarded.
So
Likely see her come in around the corner here, although good hit and roll as well.
yeah, if you're trying to keep a blank alive here for sure, that's definitely the call. You're only on thirds first.
It's true. Yeah, for sure. If she can, certainly, if it looks appetizing enough from the hack to go after the wide one there, then yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Now that might be half buried.
Yeah, we don't know from here.
It's hard from this angle, but it's for sure edge on edge.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a bit of an ugly spot to throw in the first, because I can guarantee there's no rock thrown out there. This rolling out's big. That's an unfortunate error there.
Both teams still just trying to kind of
Trying to
fill it
fill out
out
the
and
ice.
figure out the ice a bit.
Like comparable to what we had earlier. Once it got this crazy lightning fast, like anything more than about board weight just did not move.
Yeah. Yeah, we a couple spots you could certainly take a broom in the middle of the rock and just kind of throw it. And it wasn't going one way or the other.
Well, I'll just go down and make good wrestling.
Okay.
And I'll be back if I have a question.
Sounds good, boy.
So I think the call here is to go around the corner.
I would imagine
Preferably.
interesting around the corner. Looking a little big, but will be might go right through the rings though, unfortunately. Yeah. That was a tough miss again from Wendy. Just a little
Now
bit
Blank's
big.
in play.
Blank is certainly in play there now.
I mean, this is a bit of a decision point too, because you could just straight up draw right if you wanted
It's
to.
probably an easier shot to just draw around the corner. You've certainly seen the line.
Yeah, especially with
6
that
times.
being kind of a wide open.
You know it's quick.
Yeah. That other rock is going to be you got to play the intern going away from center, and you really have no idea what it's going to do.
It's entirely an unknown. So I mean, my preference here would always be to draw around the corner. But alternatively, if you were playing the hit and roll on the side one, if you did over curl into that guard and
roll in anyway,
it's not
the end of the
awful.
world.
This one is also
Yeah,
got some skates on. I think
we've gotten up into that 16,
16 and a
crazy
half,
range.
whatever it was. Yeah,
This one's going to stop though, I think.
trying its best.
Nope. Never
Oh.
mind. That's also. Yeah, this
you
is
can't
kind
you
of.
can't even breathe too heavy when you're
No.
kicking out of the hack here. It's gotten that quick, everyone.
Yeah, this is gone. This is just like what we had earlier.
Yeah, this is pretty typical, I would say, for when the Scotties
Yeah.
or the Tankard are being hosted at the Remax Center. It does get very quick, so there shouldn't be any huge surprises here, but it does always take some adjusting. When you're coming off of your league play and it's 14 to.
Coming into this, like normally your practice ice on a weekend here is like 14-5 usually. So this is a bit of an adjustment because what you'd be throwing to make hog line is now in the rings.
Yeah. So I expect in the coming ends they'll make their adjustments and then they'll get it figured out here.
And I will send Trevor.
And this one is curling up pretty hard. The weight looks a little bit better, but it's like it's all over the blue now.
Yeah, with that one crashing the guard there, that's another big opportunity. Now you got 2 guards to bury around.
2 guards. And really nothing nothing holding you
Nothing to
back
worry
from
about.
yep. No real worries. So she can get one buried here behind the 2 guards. She's in a good spot to get 2.
Must not be curling a whole heck of a lot, because that guard's probably edge of 4, and they're only taking
Yeah.
into button.
It does
So-
seem like once it comes off the center, it wants to move a bit,
Yeah.
but it does kind of hang there.
Yeah.
Early.
We're definitely a little bit crowned, like coming across center. We noticed that too. Like you
Yep.
ride the line for a while
Yep.
and then come up big at the end.
Pretty typical of curling clubs.
Yep,
you know?
yep, for sure.
No surprises. This one looks pretty
This
good.
looks pretty good.
This could be the first of the 2 of the skipper's noose here if it stops in time.
Ideally, you got to be in front of the T line.
Top of the
although
T line
this-
would be
this is pretty
ideal.
close. Oh well,
Back 8. Jeez.
that just does not stop.
Holy
So-
smokes.
Chance is open now for a freeze.
Yep.
They're taking a lot more ice.
Yeah, but you know that's often just
Yeah.
a difference in mechanics and that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
different release, especially if you've got more handle or
100%. Yeah.
or a little in out release right now, especially on fast ice like this.
Yep.
It will not come back.
When you're done, looking to put some pressure on Kaylee early, fresh off of a trip to senior
Yeah.
nationals.
Yeah, they very nearly made championship pool as
They had a lot of good games. I wasn't watching live, but I was watching the
line scores.
the line scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they had some good games up away.
well. I was chatting with Wendy just before the game, and she was saying that the game against Quebec and I think New Brunswick, Quebec and New Brunswick, I think in particular, was one that they just really had it in their pocket and
Yeah,
just ended up losing it there at the end.
We're all pretty sympathetic to that as curlers, let me
Yeah.
tell you. And though I want to say this
Close.
this is close, but maybe a hair too
gotta
heavy.
curl.
It's got to curl or die or both.
Should be an open hit.
Yeah, I think maybe even just a draw.
Actually, yeah,
She's-
sorry, yeah. It's close.
and
No, they're just drawing.
It's blue. So an open draw for 2 for Kaylee Locke in the first end here tonight. Sure, she'll be happy with that.
Especially with how the end sort of worked its way through.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cheap deuce, you know, as everyone's kind of figuring out their lessons here on sheet 3.
Yeah.
But to your point, you know, this is why many teams do prefer to kind of keep the first end open, especially the first end of your first
Yes.
game. You know.
Yeah,
of
you're
this
coming
deal.
into the event. It's going to be different than it's
Yeah.
been for most of the year.
It's not,
It's kind
you
of a
know,
bit of a guess.
You know, this isn't. You know, we don't get a full. 10 minutes per
No.
sheet here at the Rick Rowsell. It's 1 up and 1 back. So you know.
Yeah, you're not, and you're only trying to do that breaking your draw the button. So
Exactly.
you're really not
yeah.
going to learn much.
You're
about
learning maybe
anything.
one path. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this should be similar speed, I'd imagine, to what they threw and draw the
looks-
button down that path. This looks okay.
It looks perfect. If the other rock, I mean, it looks like it wants to die, but
Yeah.
that's a great throw. Oh, it did.
It
It
did
did come
die.
up. It did come up life.
So this is, I believe, only one.
I would say only 1. So you
I'm
can
getting
throw it
close.
too light. We've just learned.
Yep. I'm gonna guess that they might be calling for a measure yet. Nope, they just kicked him off.
Oh, I'm thinking
I'm
one
fairly
blue
certain it's
for
one
Kaylee
blue,
Locke.
yeah. And we'll switch her up and come back down towards glass.
All right, so we're back at the second end. Looks like we were correct. It looks like Locke got one in that
One
end.
blue.
Kind of a messy first end. I would expect a few more shots to be made here now in the
Yeah.
second.
Well,
And,
they'll have a grasp of at least that one side. Although it is
Yeah.
a little tricky because it was a kind of all played down the 4-foot, so the actual standard draw, the button path, is not going to be.
is not not overly broken in,
No.
more than from practice. Yeah.
And that center guard really did not curl enough. Be interesting to see because that should be the straighter side, for sure. And we've been laid on the sheet numerous times this year, and it's kind of been a bit of a run down the edge of the 4-foot line there.
Yeah.
So this one's coming up short too.
Well, we've got two guards yet again to start the end.
Kind of inverse because we have a
Yeah.
blue corner and a yellow center.
Like Kaylee's gonna try and come wide around the center guard that Wendy just threw there.
Yeah, for sure.
You said, I mean, it's the swingier side. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this would be definitely the way I'd be playing this as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you've got more curl off that sidewall, you definitely want to be coming off that center sidewall.
This one is,
Starting to
like
break
it's
here now,
wide
but I
back
think we're
here.
heavy. Yeah, this one's gonna run deep.
yeah,
Actually, it's gonna go all the way through.
all the way through. Wait, the breaks are hard to come by so far this evening. Expect it to come down again. You know,
Ours came down
midway
earlier
through
about the
game.
fourth. Started to get, and we started to get a little more curled in too.
Yep. Yep.
So now Wendy will give this a go.
It's there for to make.
Yep. Now I'm guessing this is tight.
It looks a little tight. Doesn't look horrible.
Doesn't look
though.
heavy either. Oh, that actually this is probably good.
If it's by, it
Oh,
looks
here we go.
really good.
Now they're going for curl.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see rather animated Wendy Dunne.
Yes,
because
yes.
She has no voice at all right now.
Okay. Yes.
So,
Excellent.
she was
The
talking to me.
aforementioned senior nationals, perhaps
Yes,
having
yeah,
a role in
yeah.
that.
She was telling me or telling me via paper earlier.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
as
Dry erase
sweeper-
board and marker.
Yeah,
Was it?
as sweepers, that's gonna be hard because you definitely gonna need someone looking up.
I did notice there's a lot of hand signals coming off of her, and yeah, it does. It's a two-person operation when your skip doesn't have a voice. It's
Yep.
one person. The outside sweeper's really got to be looking up and communicating to the inside sweeper. You know, just what it is that they need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have heads up because you're not gonna get any feedback on your
No.
line. This also looks pretty good. A little heavy, but if it's got the line, it should get
Oh,
should get to at least a corner.
Probably
this might
just going to be
baggy.
right behind it there. Yeah.
Well,
Right, line was really nice. Just
Yeah,
a pinch
just
too heavy there.
now we're gonna see. I suspect another one trying to go in around. Ideally, probably top four, full top four.
Full top four. Yep.
Give you a little bit of room.
You know, it even full 8 is a pretty good spot here, but
Yeah.
yeah, top 4 would be perfect.
Trying to take away this intern freeze because like the outturn probably doesn't curl enough, and you'd have to get by that guard tight to even have a chance.
Yeah. The good news, if you're Locke here, is that all the play is still around the center guard here. So
Yes,
a little tap on the swingy side, make a little pocket to freeze him.
we're indicating for curl
This is-
again.
this
So
is
this also
looking-
looks okay.
Looks pretty nice. It might be a little bit heavier than the first.
I don't want to
Might
be
chip
back
off
button.
and leave that pocket that I was talking about.
That's an
Yep.
unfortunate spot to leave that rock.
Yep.
Now, if you get one frozen in there now, it's probably going to be impossible to remove.
Just a
without
little
running
bit
some guards.
inside of the nose. Even nose frozen is a really good spot
Yeah,
here.
7/8 low would be absolutely perfect because
Yep.
then even the corner guard run or the
Yep.
run on blue corner guard doesn't
Exactly.
get you anything. So that's definitely not where you want that rock with hammer.
It's not ideal.
No.
As as much as we like to say, I don't hate it. There's a
yeah.
little bit of hatred.
Yeah, your skip's not going to be overly happy with that one. This also looks heavy.
This has a better line. It looks like it's gonna get
no, here it
onto the
goes.
yellow.
They don't want to bump it with this line. That's pretty
That's
good.
a really nice shot.
You
Didn't quite curl up.
You might be able
so
to get
you
just
might
to the
be able
inside
to
with
sort of
like a
tease
back
that
8 weight.
out. Yeah.
But certainly, yeah, here you go. So they're going to call for back 8. And
It's a precise shot because you don't ever want to be on the outside of this.
no.
Nor do you want to overcurl and hit the guard here.
Well, taking the guard off is probably not the end of the world here with hammer.
That is true. They do have hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, with hammer here, if you move the guard out of the way.
It's actually not as bad, but with back 8 weight, you're probably not moving it real far. It's looking a little outside. A little bit heavy and a little bit wide.
Yeah, this is going to be not so good.
Gonna knock it into the pocket here. Yeah.
That's an unfortunate,
That's a
again,
tough
rather
miss.
unfortunate miss.
Not far off at all, but probably not the result that Wendy was looking for there. Now, if you're Kaylee, just a nose freeze here on the blue, and scoring areas is almost none for Wendy, who's probably gonna have to, start peeling and running some guards in if this freeze is made perfect.
Yeah, you're going to have to start going to bail mode.
This looks, this is quite a big shot here. Another one heavy, I do believe. Yeah, that's gonna go right through the back, I think. Chip your own blue.
So,
yep.
If you're Wendy here now, it
You
is
got an
all-
option. You got a choice to make here now. Yep.
Yeah, like realistically, peeling is not that bad because you're sitting second, third, and fourth. So for Team Locke, it'd have to be really careful now to try to protect that blue so that
It's
you
a
don't.
lonely blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Well, actually, they're going through the hole.
I don't think they were calling the run back. I think.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Pretty sure the blue is open
Yeah, I
on
was
the
gonna
other
say,
side of that one.
the
I
broom
don't
looks
think you
like
can
going through the
access it through the
hole,
hole.
We'll see here, I guess.
This is close, actually. I think.
Yeah. Stick this is really good.
Might have just overcooked the sweep. That's a.
Right through the hole. Did open it up
Ah,
a
what a
little bit.
what a close one. It opened it up a little bit, no doubt. But even if she chipped that blue on the way by, just to get the separation away,
just get
even
the
that
yellow
would have
off the
been
back of it, 'cause
perfect.
Realistically, you can hit the blue anywhere because the yellow's going to jam the one back 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
Still a pretty good effort.
Yeah, that was. They needed to curl another quarter inch.
Yeah.
To be able to make that.
That is curling for you. Sometimes the closest shots
Yes.
feel the worst in some ways. But,
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I think Kaylee's probably forced to sort of throw up a guard here again.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, this might be looking like it's going to freeze, actually, freeze the blue shot, which is also pretty good.
This is a pretty good result here. Now, like, I think you can probably see half that blue, but it's going to take you 2 shots to get rid of them.
Certainly to get rid of both blues. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever just throw this a little quieter and try to nose
Just
it?
try and nose it. Yeah, it's not a bad option. If Kaylee guards you,
Yeah. Well, you can always come off
do
your
have-
own on the side of the
You
8
got
foot there,
that
too.
run the run she just threw as well.
Yep.
Depending on where Kaylee's guard ended up.
Either that or the other option is just
Or
to whip this down there and try to get everything
Just
moving.
looks like that's the option that they've gone with. Oh, hanging a little wide, but they do want to hit it pretty thin. I
This
think.
might be through the hole again.
No, I think she's got it.
No,
just
actually,
a
this might be pretty good.
She's got
Just
the
picked it
top one.
clean.
Yeah,
Not.
you're not
Too
totally
bad.
sad. You're not very sad about that at all. I don't
No.
think that's. You would have loved to get the second one moving for sure, but you'll take that.
So after coming off an entire week of statting the slams, I'm actually, while we're doing this here, pulling up some stats for as the game goes on. So we'll be able to give you like a fourth end break update on how
We'll give you
everybody's
some
playing.
updates on the stats here this evening.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm thinking second end is probably not the point to jump
No,
off into the stats.
for sure.
Some
mean,
people will be sad about their stats.
We
at that
did
point,
see
I
some
think.
pretty wild ones there last week at Mary Brown Center. I mean, I think it was the quarterfinal where we had the German team who just won the Euros, Team Muscovitz, playing
Right.
McEwen. And the German skip was being outplayed by like 20+%. And,
Okay.
and they ended up going to an extra.
Right.
So he made the right hats.
Stats are not everything.
No,
This is-
as long as you make the right one on your last two, you're usually pretty good.
It can be like that. You just got to make the right ones, not all of them, right?
I mean, most people saw the update from Schuster making the in-off double
Yes,
last week.
yes.
So, yeah.
It's a big shot, and
This looks like a really nice freeze again.
she's tapping it a bit.
Still, you
but
only
it's
got two
still
rocks
pretty
left.
good.
Now I think you try to blast it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
go
drag
back
the
to
back
well.
one a little bit. It might end up jamming on both the yellows actually.
We'll drag it sort of straight back into the into the yellow there. She's on the outside, yeah. In the blue, sorry.
I think if you get nose though, I think you are gonna be possibly second, which is pretty huge. Because you're gonna be kind of top button.
You'll be you'll be second. You would be second shot.
So
yeah.
like I think more critical than anything here is trying to keep the
So-
shooter on the nose.
He could throw a little, probably will throw a little bit less weight at this
Yeah.
then. Try and just sort of stick that on the nose. And then Kaylee's got to make a nice one on her last,
Yeah.
or else she'll have something for two.
Yeah.
Whether it be the in off of the yellow there.
You can definitely come off that, kick the one off
yeah.
the back of the button for
Yep.
sure. So this should give you, as long as you keep your shooter somewhere in front of this, it should give you
It's-
some options.
The shooter is key here for sure.
He's a pretty straight shooter, so and when they got caught with the icicle. Now this is a big shot here. If that's been coming across the top outside in, which is the best way to play it. If the rocky hit tends to go down as opposed to out.
So,
Oh, here comes
well, they're
Wendy.
throwing this one pretty hard.
She does appear to be throwing a little more weight than we thought.
And I missed it by much.
This is right on target though, by the looks of it.
As long as they get by the guard, they're good.
She looks by to me.
This looks pretty good.
Team Grant was double to get out of it.
She's gonna roll out a bit, but
Not
yeah.
the most ideal result. Now, if realistically, if your team Locke here, if you really want to go for it, you can bury another one top 4 foot, and I do not
I
see
think-
much to get away with.
I think that is probably your call. Just to come in and say, make a good one, Wendy. Come
Yeah,
in.
I mean, the
for
only shot
top
you might
four.
end up having is the flat in off your own.
Flat
weight,
and
but
off is there anyway. Yeah.
kind of sort of come right down into the pocket of the two blues for one. But it's not the shot you want to be playing for sure.
The in off into the crotch of the two blue for
Yeah.
a pile.
It's there. I'd probably
That'd be
take
for
it-
3, I guess, right?
yeah, because you're probably going to double out
Probably
your own
lose your own
blues,
two
your own
yellow there
yellows
on
over
the
there.
side. Yeah, it's possible.
You might even have play just to even get one. So depends on where this
Yeah, I
ends up.
mean, getting a third counter in there is not really a bad defense in that sense. Because if you throw the straight guard, you're almost forcing her hand into
Yeah,
playing that
she's-
shot
she's-
anyway.
I
Now she
think she'll
could,
just automatically. She
I
can
mean,
play a
she
straight
could
run
play
too,
the
but-
straight draw around to cut him to 1. Also,
Yeah,
she has options.
the straight run double is maybe there for
Yep.
3 or 4 as well.
Yep.
So, couple of options for sure. None of them particularly easy, but
I'd prefer to not be throwing them.
yeah, I would agree.
Although, this is the fun part about curling.
Yes, you always got to take on the Hail Mary.
You
at
got
some
it
point.
every now and again. You make them every now and again too. So this looking like it's just going to be a straight guard
Yep.
on the two blue. It's a nice shot.
call.
Yep. She tucks a piece behind the yellow too. And she
Takes
might-
away that
takes away the
like
run
we're
back.
saying, that'll force that
Yep.
that run back shot.
Now, like I said, Wendy could choose to draw. Now you did say it was a straighter side on the other, and that
Yes,
is true.
it
So
is.
it's not exactly a cakewalk even to make that draw to cut her down to
No.
1.
And you can't really even play enough weight to throw the tap out. Well, that's what they're going for.
They're trying to come around. on
I
the-
really
yep.
don't know if there's enough curl to make this tap for 1. Because it's actually slightly overburied behind the 1 top 12 that Kaylee just threw. So that makes
Yeah.
the shot way more difficult.
It's got to be sort of perfect back for
And then your sweepers have
weight,
to
and
manage
they
it
got to
perfectly.
manage it perfectly. Probably just there.
Yeah. I'll be honest, the in-off might be a little easier. It's not easy by any means, but it might actually be easier.
Logic would dictate that it's not easier, but I do know what you mean.
shoe's gonna play on it. Gonna pick it up
This
and
is
link
this
it,
is
jams it.
everything's got to be perfect. Whereas I think with the in off, you kind of take the weight
Well,
out of
'cause
the
even if you
equation,
get it
because
a
you're
little-
going to throw it hard enough.
Yeah, and even if you get it a little thin, you can come onto the back one. It's only one as well.
And it looks like they were throwing the in off
Oh,
the
right.
whole time.
We just didn't know any different. She got at least one.
There
of
you
them.
go.
That's
That's a good
pretty good.
result. Yeah, that's a good shot from Wendy there
Yeah,
to force her to
for
one.
sure. So
She
good way to
was
get
in
out
a
of
pile
trouble
of trouble there. So yeah, and a nice one there at the end to cut Kaylee down to one. So after two ends, we have Kaylee Locke with the 2 on the board, and Wendy will have the hammer again in the third, trying to get back into this game here. We'll be back in a second.
in the third. All right, so we started this end off with a center line guard attempt by Kaylee there, and just didn't quite curl enough to bite center.
It's still certainly a center guard.
It is. It does matter now more with the no tick
It does. Yep. It is really an advantage. If you get it on the center line and then your opponent comes and ticks it off,
Yeah.
it's a wipe of the shot, right?
Yeah, and
It's-
and like nowadays, if you get the other team throwing and they happen to over curl a hair and just tick it,
Yeah,
everything goes back,
exactly.
so they actually
Everything
lose
goes
that
back,
rock.
and they lose the shooter, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
a huge advantage.
It's a lot more drastic of a miss.
Is
This also looks a hair heavy.
yeah. And Wendy's first tried to play the come around. It looks like it over curled a bit.
Yeah.
But,
And probably a hair deep, but pretty good.
probably on the back end of the tee line there. You know,
But
nothing
now,
too tragic.
with
But
that one going through, you got another chance to bury a second one here.
Yeah.
so-
play is still around the center guard, but
Yes.
you know, if you can get another one ahead of tee line here, buried behind the blue, you're not too mad about that if you're Wendy.
No. It is funny, like some takeaways from the slam last week. We did see a lot of teams throwing double centers now because they know the other team, like planning strategy a bit, knowing
Yeah.
what the other team's capable of. A lot of these teams now are getting so good at the double peels that with a single guard, it's just too easy.
It's almost as though it's not there. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is looking pretty good for
they're
weight.
trying to get this
It's
curl a
out
bit.
there a good chunk. Might kind of end up sort of side by side.
Eh,
Oh, they're working it pretty good there. Yeah, that's not bad. It's probably
too
half
bad, no.
buried. And above the tee, you'd like to see it. So.
so tricky double too. I think with what they can see of it, it probably just dead stuffs. So we're gonna see a board.
Yeah,
weight.
board waiter. I mean, as long as you lose one of the two,
Yeah. Ideally,
pretty
keep your shooter
good.
there too.
Yeah, exactly. The board waiters are moving kind of nice and gradual.
Yeah, board
Especially
wait-
on once across the center, they do tend to go, but they're moving kind of nice here.
Yeah, and you can use your brushers a bit more too on
Yeah.
the board weight. Once you go up to control and normal, you really can't.
This
Too
is
much.
It's close. I think
Trying
she's
to make
not going to
this
stick
curl.
around.
It's probably gonna dead stuff too.
Yeah, but she got the back
Got one of
so
them.
it's not too
So
bad.
that's not now. The yellow is definitely buried now.
And it's about a rock
and a
above
rock
where
higher,
it was,
so-
so it's certainly advantage yellow at this juncture, but not too bad.
Easy to get around.
And we'll see the same call here for freeze.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever split the house here? Probably a little early, but
With hammer, I mean, certainly could. You could draw
Yeah.
a wide one. You're not wrong. It's probably a bit early. It's they call it the junior deuce, and
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it sounds. You know.
the only worry is where your rock is basically on the button. If they ever get a good freeze locked in there, you lose that point anyway.
So this is
This is to kind of take some of that away.
this kind of shot. If you're coming around to try and force the issue, you really want it sort of top 12, top 8.
Top 8, half, 3/4
Yeah,
buried.
you don't really want to be frozen, leaving them some sort of tap.
I think we're gonna set up a pocket here right now.
I think this is much the same as the last one.
Just can't get the
Even
finish.
as opposed to
That's actually
rock
not
above. Well,
too
now
bad.
she could really just lock one in here with the draw, sort of freeze the pocket there.
You
She
can
won't be. She'll be third shot.
Yeah, I think you could
Boss.
probably get the board and just sort of roll onto the corner too.
The board waiter on the center line one.
Yeah.
Over to the to roll the corner frozen. That's not a bad option either. It looks like she's probably throwing some sort of hack waiter here.
Yeah, I think they indicated board, so something like an 11, 5, 12 in that range.
Pretty impressive also.
And that'd be your hog to hog time. So you're usually
Yeah.
running 11.5, 12 for a board and 10.5 for most teams for control. And then normal and peel. Normal is usually in that 9, 9.5 range, and then peel depends on your team.
I know so
It's
many guys
looking.
who
It's hanging out there pretty
This
good.
is running
right
that
now.
same line we've seen now a couple times. Where
It
it's
does
just
seem to be pretty weight
very, very
sensitive.
gradual. So this one's going to roll wide open.
Now, she will stick around here, but I don't know if she's got
I
enough
don't
to
think
get rid
she's
of the
gonna get the
yellow.
yellow
Yeah,
And she did stop for second.
stuck around for second shot. And you're probably not too concerned about either of those rocks in the back there.
No,
again, right?
I agree with this call now. If you're going to do this, you might as well bury another one, and then eventually, if you get a chance, you can always hit that
Now
blue.
you could split the house. You could actually freeze that back blue.
Well, would you ever just nose it and sit 3?
Yep.
You're not
certainly
second
could.
right for the moment.
There's always options.
Yeah. I mean, you could sit your 3 now, and then
Yep.
that freeze becomes a lot more risky.
But being too buried behind a guard is also not a bad call here either.
No.
This is looking. If the weight's nice, I think the line is pretty good.
Yeah, this looks
Like they might
better
have
than that
left
last
it
one.
A little too long.
Still needs a curl, but
Does need to curl up a bit. But even if she bites it, it's dangerous for blue.
Short.
A little short.
now the freeze is a lot easy. Well, not necessarily easier, but you got a little more room now to bury if you ever wanted to go with the intern.
Yep.
You
Got staggered center guards
Without hammer.
without hammer, so you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
miss if you're
yeah.
capable.
If this is your opportunity here to really
A lot
put
on the
of
shot.
pressure
I
on.
agree. Yeah.
Especially being second shot.
Yep.
Like if you're
Yep.
third shot, you might debate just hitting the back one, and if they get 2, they get 2. But yeah, it's
They're playing another soft
I
weight.
think we're saying either like just a backline weight tap.
Yep. I think that's probably right.
Even straight frozen here is pretty good.
Yeah, if you don't even get rid of it, kind of just end up nose on where that yellow
2
is.
point
push it
lead.
back.
This probably
Not so bad.
guarantees a force, especially this late in the end.
Makes her make something nice for a deuce,
Yeah, no run back really available either.
Exactly. This is looks
This
pretty
curled.
tight to the blue.
Yeah, this one curled.
Is she on it? Yeah, she's on the
She's
blue
gonna
there.
kiss the guard. Does open up the yellow.
It does.
Probably actually opens it enough to get a hit and rolling behind now, so you got to be a little careful of that.
This being the straighter side.
Oh, that one just curled.
That one just curled.
So we might actually be wrong, but it has been the straighter side all year. So I got to imagine it is slightly straighter. Hard to tell where we are whether or not that she might have just been tight on that.
Yep, or helped it.
Yeah,
slightly.
one of the two. Which
Yes,
anybody
I've done that many
I was gonna
times
say, anybody
myself,
who curls
but,
has definitely done that before.
A few times this afternoon, in fact.
Yeah. Sometimes they work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm shooting for, being
But
back
getting through the port and keeping this in a good spot is not
We're going for curl
hypothetically
here.
too
So.
difficult. It's out there a little bit.
This one is following kind of the prediction of being a little straighter.
Looks
I think they're
fine
good
right
now.
though.
This looks pretty good actually. It's gonna over curl.
Yeah, it looks
If
like
it,
it's
if it
frozen
stops
to it.
top 8,
Yeah,
not bad. Little too deep, but
a little bit too deep.
you're only really able to hit the one rock, and there's no real double.
It's not disastrously deep either.
No.
Like if she came back button there and set up the double,
Yes, that would have been
not so great.
not great at all.
They're talking about it's like a tap or a freeze here. We're getting a little late in the end. This
This is getting dangerous. You're down to third, second rock here, and it's
yeah.
That name was put on him when he filled in with us in the tanker.
certainly not trivial.
Way to go, Francis.
Yeah, we're getting to a point now where I would be wanting to remove yellow,
Yes.
especially up to 2-0 here.
Again, you could kind of play this with like a quiet hack and try
Well,
to take one of them out.
it
roll
might
them
in
up.
fact be
Yeah.
what she's doing here. Yeah, this looks sort of backline-ish, back
Yeah, sort of try to.
back 8 anyway.
Was actually Corey's brother, Kelly.
Well,
That's pretty good.
interesting.
As long as they can't get to the inside of that blue, if they can, it's because if you can ever get to the
hard to
inside,
tell from here. Some of them, it seems like it is moving okay.
they are
on that
playing it with
side right
boards,
now.
so I'm guessing it's fully open.
Yeah, it looks.
Just needed a hair more curl on that rock.
Maybe even they're calling hack here. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you almost need to get to like hitting
Three
half that
quarters
rock.
inside.
Yeah,
3/4 inside, you might even miss them all and go right through the hole between the back two, which would be
yeah,
neat.
that's an impressive shot if she can pull it off for sure. I don't know that you're too worried about the back yellow, being fifth shot or
Yeah.
whatever it is, but
Yeah.
Quick story about the
Oh, we're having
they first came to our
another
they're
discussion.
talking
Another quick
about
discussion. They're throwing a little wider weight.
okay, yeah, they're looking
Just
at the
hack.
hack weight there now. Yeah,
Makes sense. Like really here, you just have to guarantee you get to the inside of that blue one.
yeah.
Outside half would
You
be
you could
not good.
Yeah, not with this weight. If you were playing it with more of like a control
Yes.
or something, you spill the two of them, it wouldn't be tragic. But
Yeah.
with hack weight, you're not.
You'd love to leave your rock top button where it is.
Yes.
and that will be
This is a little
We're
outside
looking-
there.
We're looking for some curl here.
What do they have about redheads,
I
buddy?
think she's
This might be the dead jam that we were just
Yeah.
discussing.
quite buried, but again,
might
It's
get
trying.
sort of to no.
There is so long.
If it gets to the 4 foot,
Tell you what,
not bad.
it makes things interesting
It
for
does,
sure.
because now you're sitting first, third, and fourth.
She's got to be careful. Like she could play a hit on that back yellow and roll. She could draw. She's got to be careful with whatever she does.
Yes, and whatever you do, you do not want to really set up a double. here
No.
From the customer service agent, he did a science degree.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. Sometimes the results just, you keep rocks around and interesting things can happen.
It's definitely a bit of a different scenario than what they would have been expecting, I suspect.
I think so.
Now we're just going with straight draw here.
Great draw is a nice call.
This is light is better than heavy for sure, as long as you can plug the hole to prevent them from hitting that blue one. That's the real one you're worried about is if this does not get in there for.
It looks like she might even be with that broom. I'm not 100% sure if she's trying to draw a straight pin or
just
she's
guard.
freezing to the yellow. She's straight guarding.
Okay. Yeah. Or it could be the guard too.
Yeah.
I didn't see the. I don't know if they
I
indicated
didn't see the broom
eventual
tap
call
there either, yeah.
So it's we'll find out once sweepers start sweeping. That's always the hard part, standing from behind the glass, is you really can't.
Skips have a tendency to tap everywhere before
Yeah.
they
That's
throw
Ke-
their
that's
rocks.
Kevin Martin's school
I
strategy.
know, yeah.
That's how they pad their numbers. You just tap everywhere
this.
and then indicate a good shot if it's
Why
done.
Skips curl 95% all the time.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Mhm.
Yeah, because if you tap every shot possible and you make one of them, well then
There you go.
perfect.
So this is
So,
looking
this is
pretty
definitely a
good.
draw.
It is a little bit out there, but I think they might have called the freeze to the yellow,
Yeah, okay.
which is really nice if they get there. The line looks perfect for it.
This looks like it's coming in very nice here.
Yeah, that's a really nice
And
shot.
that'll do. So, tough to score more than one.
I think.
I think you're just picking that for one, eh?
I don't think you can get. No, you can't. I don't think you can do much with that other than pick it. I agree.
Yeah.
Now you could just draw for your 1-2 if you really prefer.
Tough draw. Especially,
Anyway, you got the outturn there.
especially
as well.
since I don't know if we've seen a rock thrown down the outturn the entire end.
True. Also, you got the buttons. You don't got a whole lot of room to work
The hit's
with.
probably just as one of those just as likely to make.
Champion in 2011.
Yeah.
And I believe Corey and Spencer were, in fact, they were on the same team. So, pretty
Well,
impressive for the boys.
It's kind of a what do you like to throw here, really?
This is one of those that it's whatever the skip likes.
Yeah, whatever you're seeing. I think because
don't
we've seen this path be straight, I'd probably just lean towards throwing like a normal weight hit, put the room where you want to hit it, and it'll kind of just
Yeah.
track there.
Yeah, and I don't see there's not a whole lot of danger with the hit either. I don't you could nose it.
But then you're only going to give him one anyway.
You're only giving up one anyway. I don't see
It'd
a
be
whole lot of
hard to give up
opportunity to
two.
be giving up two here. Yeah.
You'd have to hit like 7/8 high side.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's
somehow not.
certainly doable, but
Yeah,
yeah.
You'd have to hit it perfectly wrong, because even if you hit it a hair high side and clip the yellow on the way out, the blue's gonna go out as well, and then depending on where your shooter
Now,
is, it's kind of.
could you? And I'm wondering if this is what she's lining up here. Throw more of a board waiter
Yeah.
and try and just kind of stick around, biting the 4-foot. Is there enough room? I can't quite tell from here now. If they'd move, maybe I could tell. But is there enough room to sort of skirt the blue by the yellow there and score your two with a hack waiter or something? Like that?
Maybe. It's pretty thin though.
Yeah.
Wasn't like you see half rock. Not even with half rock. I mean, he knows it.
Now that they're out of the way, I think
Yeah.
I think you're right, and so I expect that this is just the pick. But we'll see.
We'll see. You never know.
I'm trying to hit this now and
Hard sweep for a curl.
And no doubt the front end has opinions here, as they often do.
Well, of course. Generally, your front end is telling you wait to throw here, but I believe this is just the pick.
Yeah, I would expect so. Although it's quite a bit of ice for
It is,
normal
especially
weight.
since we've seen this straight.
Yeah.
You're looking at the same thing as me.
Unless they're,
third end for
I
shoot.
suppose you could theoretically come off the blue, off the yellow, and roll up onto the button. I think that's always harder.
I would expect that is not the call.
I can't imagine it would.
Okay, so this is looks like a normal waiter.
They gotta
I
make
think this is
girl,
pretty close though.
I think they got it.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to overcurl this too much.
No, that's a great shot from Wendy for her one there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was as good as you could make that.
Yeah.
So we got
So-
finally a score of 1 from Team Dunne to lose the hammer.
Stay
And
tuned to see if anyone will get more than 1 point.
This might be a game of ones.
It could be one until the 8th. We don't know.
Except I think we got that wrong because I think there's still 2 rocks out to come.
That makes sense.
So, even that being considered, I still think that's probably the best call we can get there.
It does change things. I might have talked a little differently about
And
it.
I was kind of looking at my stat sheet going, I must have missed a shot. But turns out I.
So can I blame you again, or is this
Nope,
this
nope,
one's on
this
me?
one- this one's on
Okay.
you.
Yep.
So this will be the same freeze attempt for sure.
So for the camera crowd, let's get a still shot of the rock piles for next year. Hey, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
with us.
We got. Well, this is more than we usually see for
So
a game.
as a fella in the humanities, I'm not a numbers guy.
Yeah.
Counting to 8 is a little too much for me. So it's like they're putting it kind of back in the same
I'd say
spot
same
here. Hey, I
phrase.
mean, it was quite a good spot. Obviously, made Wendy think quite a bit about it.
Yeah.
She made a nice pick there, obviously, but she can kind of put it back in the same spot, or frozen to the yellow, or on the pin.
Oh yeah, even dead berry top
Yep.
button's good too. Might
Now,
even
this
be
one
better.
looks a little bit heavier than her first.
He's got a curl too.
I think the line is pretty
Nah,
good.
I'm thinking the weight's close just based on the brushers coming in here.
I think she's tapping yellow.
You
This
don't
is
want to set up a
interesting.
double, which I
I think
think
she
they just
might
did.
have done.
Yep, nose double for
Nose double for
Step away, just think,
yeah, at least 3. I'd say.
came out to-
because I think nosing that goes over the top
Yeah,
of the one back 8 foot.
you're right.
for-
I think
for
it's
4,
4.
which is rather unfortunate. Really didn't want to bump that.
Again, typical play, it's a freeze attack.
They've mostly seemed to have figured out the speed, but
Yeah. That one just didn't quite curl the same.
it
as the
got a
first one.
bit wider. Like you said, it
Yeah.
was just a lick. I mean, they had almost no room by the corner there.
No, and then
Make any touch.
probably that extra foot or two of weight, and then all of a sudden, now you're rolling over on top of the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, mind you, obviously she set up the double here, but wrecking on the corner guard also would have
Would've
been,
been really bad.
tragic. So
Yeah, then
You
you
gotta
got,
kinda
then you got
count
an
your-
open hit for 4.
count your blessings in some ways as
Yeah,
well.
she's still got to make this at
Exactly.
the end of the day.
Open, but
Now, she was close on. She threw the last one pretty close, so I got to imagine being in the same spot. This will be.
I gotta think the same
This will be
thing
close.
here. That is the dream. Well, it's the dream is to skip is to throw the same shot twice,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
as I'm sure you're aware, it's not always easy to throw
No.
to replicate your first throw. You
No,
know,
we always had that running thing with draw to the button before your game starts.
Oh, yeah.
You pin the one in practice, you are not putting the second one on the pin. It's
probably
never
just
gonna
don't
happen.
throw your last practice rock.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely not at our level. Just not the consistency's not quite
this
there.
is looking pretty good.
It's
I
got a
think it's a
curl a bit, I
little
think.
wide. She might
This
be.
might be
a
on the
little-
corner,
Was on the corner.
so that's really unfortunate.
Might have been a little bit in out because it looked like it started to track
yeah,
out there.
and that's been that sort of tricky spot all year. It's right on that edge
spot
of that 4
there.
foot.
It's pretty release sensitive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
That'll be a steal at 2.
Steal it too kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens when you don't know how many rocks are in an end of curling. But so we got a score of after 3 ends. Kaylee Locke 4.
4-0.
When you done, still searching for points.
So,
soft, actually take out the roll.
So we're back here in the 4th end of this game of Kaylee Locke versus Wendy Dunne. As we mentioned, Kaylee's now up 4-0, and Wendy's got the hammer again this end. She'll try and make a run at it this time.
now their
Lost,
first guard slipped into the rings also, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, so yep. So Kaylee looking to just kind of make a hit here and
Yeah,
lie
make it
to
go away.
and make it go away. Yep. A lot of scoreboard management at this point, I would imagine.
And this is where you just want to keep it wide open. That was a nice hit and stick there.
Nice hit and stick.
So this is
So I was being hypercritical. I would say we got now a bit of a stagger in the 12-foot.
yeah, tough to get around that one with the
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
I
On the
don't-
wide side there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love this call of hitting this. You're down
A little
4.
bit early, and they're not, in the 8-foot even.
No, I'd be tempted to put a throw
probably
lob
throw
corner
it.
on that crown and anchor logo there, and try to give yourself something to hit and roll behind.
That would be my preference as well.
Shot, they're gonna camp off the run back.
But
It's gonna make the run back a lot more difficult.
you know, maybe they're planning to blank this end. Although I would probably want to keep hammering the 4th. That way you keep it in the evens for most of the way through.
You got, right now, you got-
You know, you hit the rocks here; they're not scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, if she hits it perfect, no, she is actually a guard. So,
Yes.
which it looks like she's going to do that. That's a pretty
yeah,
nice
that's
shot
actually
there.
not bad.
Yeah.
well, this is gonna
She leaves the guard, makes the double. That's a pretty nifty one.
Yep. It is a center guard, mind you.
It is a center. Yeah.
With
She
or
seems
with
to have
hammer.
no problem playing around centers.
No,
So,
with or without hammer.
yeah.
So call here is go around this. Can't peel it yet, so might as well go around.
Can't peel it. It's not on center, so if she's a little tight, she can chip it.
You
No big
could
deal.
kick this. You could potentially see a call here to tick this into the rings, kind of thing, so you can hit
One
it.
could.
But I mean, you can hit it on your next one anyway.
You might get some residual drag effect.
So
Get it further here if you want any chance.
So,
sweepers are close on this, so weight doesn't look terrible. Heavy clean.
it's like they're trying to get it to curl here now. It does to me look a little
No,
bit
it's
big.
running pretty good.
Yeah.
If they're looking at a peel weight hit here.
It's gonna be back 8,
Back
back
eight.
12.
Might be fully buried. Not that you're excited about that. Up 4.
No, well that came down pretty good.
Runs pretty good.
I might be touching the back 4 there. Either way, let's
You might as well use that
let's
guard you just left there.
let's
so-
use your guard and the backing that you got there now as well.
Yeah,
Roll behind
for sure.
those two guards. It opens up the left hand, right hand side of the sheet.
And that is the call indeed.
And it's possible.
Yeah, you got to try to use what you got. It's generally pretty hard to score two with only a single guard,
Roll behind that long guard at the same time.
and it's not a corner on top of that.
Yeah.
Quite possible.
You can see when he's
I'm not sure
motioning them
Yeah.
to get them to curl this one.
touch the yellow.
The weight's good. I think the line will finish up nicely here for a freeze.
Yes, even if they get
Or a
just edge
straight
on
draw
edge, is
there.
actually not too bad.
Top button. It's
It's
close to edge on edge, but
Yeah, like if they end up getting close to nose here, it's probably a straight jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's ever not gonna.
thinking twice now. Thinking maybe we inside freeze this. I think
I like the hit and
I
roll.
think she's gonna end up making the hit here.
Yeah, I love the hit and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, you're up 4.
Yeah.
Just at this point, you're just making rocks go away. And really, if you
Even
overcurl and take the guard, you're probably rolling in.
If you overcurl, take the guard, or if you're a little tight and you end up taking the back blue with it,
So be it.
no worries.
Yeah, you're not.
Sleep easy.
Yeah, you're not super worried.
No, not yet.
It's over. It's actually
No, she's definitely not tight.
No,
She's out
sweepers are on this trying to make this
trying to
curl.
make it curl. Depends on the weight here. If she's up, this is gonna ride all the way down, I
Yeah.
think. But it looks like she's got that sort of nice
No, this looks good.
board control weight.
Yeah, that's the right weight to throw here.
Weight management was perfect on that one for sure.
Yeah. So now, if you're Wendy really here, I think you're still drawn again.
Just keep putting them in there.
I mean,
Look for a miss.
anything and everything that ends up behind the T line is just helping you now.
Yeah.
And like that rock over there is really not doing you any harm.
So it's Joel's second of 2, right?
You can always come in off that blue if you had to later on the end or anything like that. So
Did play a hit and roll in front of the blue. It does keep the blank alive. But I know
Yeah.
down 4,
Down 4,
you're
though,
you're
you're
almost
running out of
into
time,
a spot
too.
here. Yeah, where you
this
need
is
to-
crashing the guard, I think.
It's close.
You
Maybe
made the
just
double.
make light here. You got a second guard here, if nothing else.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a gift. It was a good
The only
shot.
downside, I guess, there is that later on in the end, if you wanted to try to clean it up a bit, that tight guard is splittable for a second
It's a
point.
double run now as opposed to a single run.
Yeah.
If you got to make something move with the 4 foot, I agree.
Yeah, and you can't.
And it is
split
on center. The other thing about it,
Yeah.
the split is gone. You
Split
are
is
also
gone.
right. Although
Which
with
might
2
have been
blues
a-
in the 8 foot,
It's tough.
probably wasn't going to be a
No.
thing anyway.
You need some help to make that one count.
It's like they're trying to come into the top 4, put one in there a little bit better.
This will put a bit of hurt on here now to try to.
Yeah, if the way
You're gonna have to
is,
do something to move this here now.
looking close.
Looks a
It
little
might be
heavy.
T line, sort of back button, back forward.
Yeah, just a little heavy.
He keeps going. It's back 8.
Yeah. So the only downside is if you did freeze it, you're only getting 1.
Scoring area is
0.
not a whole lot at this point.
No.
You could kind of try the nose hit.
Yeah. Do you
Up
ever play
there.
the double off the side one? Oh, like split's gone, so that's not gonna help you. You can tap it back, I suppose, but then they're gonna freeze again.
You probably want to get rid of a couple blues here.
Yeah. I think I'd be tempted to play the off the side one and double them that way. That way your shooter's in front of the other blue, and
Play the
potentially
double
that
off
split
the-
is still in if they can see any of it. Then all of a
I
sudden you
think
could
they
bring it back
probably
in.
got just an edge of it.
Yeah, because you only need to hit a quarter to tap it in rings.
It's like they're going for the double on the blues on the
On the
center
center
here
line,
now,
yeah.
though. It's pretty close. They
long
can
as
get
they
by
get
the
by.
guard.
No, they
So
got
do.
by.
Nice
So
sweep.
nice shot.
That's not
actually
a
pretty
bad
good.
result at all. This is what I'm
it's
talking
now-
about with the nose
Yep.
hit here. So that's not quite as good as a freeze, but it makes her think about how she's going to get rid of the yellow, whether she's going to try and pick it or come back with the nose hit. It's not a bad option either.
No, for sure.
So it should be a
So
fairly routine shot for James.
I mean, at this point, I'm probably just gonna walk up and rip it out. But
When you get to a high level,
it's you could nose it back. To be fair,
all these guys.
It's not a bad call.
no.
And if you're more comfortable kind of throwing,
Like a
the
boardish.
control or board weight like you've been doing, that's, it makes a lot of sense
Like
to me.
they're potentially looking at the roll under here, but I really don't think unless you throw it really quiet, which is dangerous. I don't foresee it. The nose is probably the call because if you just rip everything out, they can hit the open one, and at some point you might free up the chance for them to make the split.
I thought I saw her motion for the
Yeah,
pick here.
I think
though.
they're just peeling it out.
Certainly threw a good bit of weight at it. Line is looking like it might hit kind of both of them out
Yeah.
here and roll to the side. So that's
Not
not a bad result. Got rid of the yellow. You're still line 2 blue.
Still line 2. Keeping a shooter there was huge.
Yep. That's a
Because
nice shot.
obviously that split that we've been talking about is basically not possible now.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to remove both of those.
Now they are lined up for doubles though. So,
Yes, you could. Yeah, you play the
on
double.
Wendy's last or something.
Play the
you
double,
you never
and then
know.
if they hit and roll out, then you can try the split. Because you really do have to score a multiple here.
Scoreboard surf.
And yeah, Wendy's just gonna ignore the blues, I think.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Down 4,
Yeah.
you got no choice. You just need rocks in play.
Yeah.
That's a great shot by Corey Shoe.
So,
So a quick surf.
sweepers are on this one.
Sweepers
pretty
are-
good.
I think it's pretty close.
It looks close.
They seem to think
Sweeper, you gotta go for line here
pretty
soon,
close.
It's breaking hard.
They
here.
leave it a little too long, or are they buy?
Oh,
Whoa!
just squeak the guard.
That's a great shot.
Should
Just
be
perfect top
pretty
button
much
buried behind the 2 yellows.
Yeah. Now the only thing I think Team Locke has is a freeze here, unless they can see a
could.
piece, but I don't think so.
So before I say, what rock at the end it is, this is
Skip
Kaylee's first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Skip
So looks like she's calling either a hack waiter or a freeze here. I think the call is a hack waiter.
I thought they were indicating that, yeah. So they must be able to see
Boy,
a sliver of it, but
that looks
dead
very
buried.
buried to me.
this is a very hard shot.
Managed perfectly with weight and sweepers. Might
Now-
be there.
Thinking ahead here, if they happen to fly by everything, do you take on that nose double on the blues, and then bring that split back into play?
Is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate that call. But
is
It's risky. I mean, if you ever roll the shooter out, or,
Yeah.
you know,
For sure.
you're not perfect on it. Well, you are down 4, so I mean,
You
you
gotta take a
kind of
gamble
got to take
somewhere.
your gambles where they present themselves.
Yeah. So now, obviously, if she picks this out from behind the guard, then you got no choice. You're
Oh,
drawing again.
your end is almost
Yeah,
it's
you're
almost
you're
over.
you're
Trying
at
to-
getting 2 at best.
yeah. This looks like it's
Why?
looks like you forecasted this one correctly.
Yeah. I
It's-
just think the shot was too hard.
It's pretty easy to do when the ice is kind of as quick as it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Your hack weight is really almost like
just
you
through.
think is like a T line weight or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and even on top of that, it's just so release sensitive coming down
Yeah.
that path.
So now this
think they're drawing
likely
again.
just a draw. Yeah,
The only thing you do not want to do is leave them a double.
leave the double. You almost. I mean, if line is perfect, you can be top 8, no big deal. But
Yes.
if it's a little wide, you almost got to try
Wrap
and
it around the
pound
back
it and
8
wrap
foot.
it around the back one. Yeah,
Even if you're half buried back 8 foot, you give yourself guaranteed
Yeah.
draw for 2,
exactly.
which is huge.
2 would put you right back in the game here. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure. And like usually when we see the ice start this fast, by the time you get to the 5th, 6th, it starts to come down quite a bit, and the center line can kind of get a little iffy. So
you'll see your misses.
yeah, you'll see some misses, and if you can get in early with a bunch of center guards, then
Yep.
you can come right back in it. So we'll see now how Wendy's draw weight is. Whether she's got a feel for it here yet.
Sweepers think it's
Light.
a little bit light. Line looks pretty good.
The line looks good. Now the
I
last
think
one
the
they just
sweepers
yeah,
are
this is short.
correct. Now it's another guard on that yellow.
Yeah. I think you got to freeze, don't you?
I would play the freeze. I mean, you could even get real cute and try and talk a piece behind the that shot rock.
I mean, if you force them to 1 here, you're up 3 with playing 5.
Yeah,
Playing
I
5,
play
take hammer to
the
6, and you pretty much
so I mean,
win.
freeze is the call.
Yeah.
But you have a few options, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're
Yeah.
back 4 buried or
You can almost lob this right onto the pin if you wanted to.
That's
Where
what I mean,
that-
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Where that guard didn't quite curl as much as the
Yeah.
others, it's really not particularly an
Exactly.
issue.
And you make her make a kind
Yeah.
of a nice finesse shot for her too.
I don't think we threw a single rock this entire end on the outturn side.
Hey, it's funny how that happens. isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So what they might find out later in the game is because this in-turn side has been played so much, the out might be really slow.
Really slow. And that makes, I mean, when you got one side that's curling,
Yeah,
and one
that's
side that's
usually
not,
how it
it's,
goes.
it's how it goes a bit.
Yeah, unless you want to go back to the old school way of curling where you just get hammered 1 and blank the first 5 or 6, which is a perfectly valid way to play this if the ice is a little tricky, but it's definitely hard to keep 4 or 5.
Pretty tough
6,
with the
4,
5
5, 6
rock
blank.
rule. Like,
Yeah.
you really need the other team to kind of play ball with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Or you got to be able to make a lot of run backs,
Yeah.
doubles, and that kind of thing.
A little wide.
This
Might
is
be-
wide.
No, the weight is all right.
Weight's great. Hard. I would be making this curl.
I would also. So a little bit deep. I think
I think
it
it's
might have
shot.
stuck around for shot, which is kind of like that's pretty big to make her
Yes.
make a
Yeah, if it's
shot
not
on,
shot rocks,
make
free
a play
draw.
on it.
Hacksaw.
Or if it's an inch deeper, then she's got a backing for a draw,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Which is kind of how she's probably going to play it anyway. Just to tap it or
Yeah.
push or what have you.
See, he's adding to our nickname.
But yeah, this would be a big deuce here for Wendy Dunne in the 4th to be down, to get yourself back
Back in
sort
it.
of
Give it a
back
chance to
within
get
reach
back
at
in
the
a little
halfway
bit.
point. Yep.
And then try to steal your next one and 1.5. Like if you can steal 5 and 6, all of a sudden it's split hammers and you're
Yeah.
playing a new game.
Hey, just you think about getting a 2 and then just putting rocks in some good spots
Yeah.
and making the other team make shots. Well, this one first.
Yeah, you gotta make this. So this is probably just a back
Back
4,
line.
back 8.
Guessing where she's got the broom, it's probably full
little more
back
than that.
line.
Makes a little bit of sense. They have
Just
thrown
make
this
sure.
a couple of times. So I'd imagine they've got a decent
Back line is a nice way.
Yeah, it is. Your sweepers come into it then.
Yeah.
You're not trying to just hope. So sweepers are on this early. This might be tight.
It's close. It depends on her weight.
It's not heavy.
They're working hard on it.
That's close.
I think
I
she's by the
good.
guard. She's got to get by the
Gotta
back
get
yellow.
her on yellow first.
Yeah,
but I think
this,
she's
this
good.
is a nice shot.
Yeah, it's a nice shot. Nice throw.
That's a great shot from Wendy there, and we got a 4-2 game as we head into the fourth end break here, which is not really a break, but
But halfway point for
halfway
sure.
points.
And that's a bit of a miss we saw there from Wendy on her first one by slipping into the rings there on the center guard. I mean, you're still trying to steal here, and that you really can't afford to do that.
Yeah, it's a big miss. Not much you can do about it now.
No.
Just the
No.
nice thing is if if she makes a nose hit here, if Kaylee makes a
Yes,
nose
you
hit,
throw
then
another
it is
guard on it.
kind of a guard if you kind of throw another one on top
Yeah,
of it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Ideally, Kaylee wants to take this and
To
roll,
roll
it
in
way
the
over on the
wings,
wing
yeah.
somewhere. This might be nose.
It might
Nope.
be actually rolling
They're
wings.
gonna roll the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You're fine with
That's
that,
fine.
I think, for Kaylee.
You would have liked to stick somewhere, but
100%.
you know,
Yeah.
it gets it to play away from center line. It's a yellow rock that can't count.
And most of all, when you can't guard it for two guards.
No.
So, see if
Interesting, they were gonna switch turns here because they played
Yep.
the out on the first,
Yep.
and now they're playing the in, which is interesting choice.
interesting to switch from the early side to the straighter
Yeah,
side.
and they actually have more ice here.
Maybe the yeah.
So apparently we might not know what we're talking about, but you know.
We are but mere human spectators.
Yes. It has definitely so far, at least on the hits that were all thrown down that side last end, it's definitely straighter there. But
I would be surprised if it curls that much, although it does look like it's moving pretty good. Now, we found in our game earlier today that after
now
we
you
threw a
start to
few
get-
rocks
yeah.
on the straighter side, it really did kind of come to.
yeah,
Started curling basically like the other
yeah,
side.
you catch that path that's been worn in quite a bit down
Yeah.
the middle, and all of a sudden the rock will actually get a little bit of finish. That still didn't curl a ton for where it ended up,
No,
but
that's
it's
a nice
pretty good.
center
It's
guard.
nice center guard. It's a nice high one.
Yeah.
You put the 3 now on after this one. I would be tempted to draw the wing here. If you're a team Locke here, you'd love a blank.
I don't disagree.
Take hammer into 6, then you got 2 to 1.
Especially where that's such a high center guard.
It is,
too.
yeah. Like this is not. especially if this is heavy, happens to be heavy, it's not really going to help you very much. Now, if it's a top 4 foot, great.
Still great.
Still
Yeah.
great.
And sometimes when they miss, they still miss on pro
You
side.
can't be short.
So
She's not short, I don't think. She's top 12 at least.
Full 8.
Full 8.
That's
That's not so bad. Yeah, I mean, it didn't curl a ton again, so we might see the broom start to inch closer to the 4 foot here.
Yeah.
So what do we got for stats halfway through the game?
So at the halfway point, we've got neither team throwing, the world's best. They're definitely not
I
playing
think
their best.
they would probably agree.
But we've got Team Locke here at 48, and we've got Team Dunne at 46. So actually fairly close.
Okay.
The big difference is Team Locke's front end is outplaying Wendy across both
Okay.
positions
Gotcha.
by more than 5%, which in curling terms is your +1. That's usually a good indicator where we're seeing some more shots get set up by Team Locke early on. And then the skips are actually quite close, with Wendy and Kaylee being within less than 5% of each other.
Gotcha.
So
That was a tough miss there for Wendy. She's trying to sort of board weight, hit and roll behind the center. And just ended up over curling, clipped the guard there. Now, I should also point out, and you've already pointed this out to me, Evan, is that the stats, you are not being the most kind with these stats.
No,
this is
so-
true to the Grand Slams, as you
yes,
suggested.
yeah. So I stat every game. I've done our tankards and stuff before, and I stat them all the same. So realistically, for your average club curlers, they're going to be in the 50% range, and then some of your more experienced, sort of major league in our case level,
Yep.
you might get up in the 60s as a team, but that's a pretty good game. And like I know, we've got my dad coming down to coach/status for
Yep.
the whole year, and he's same thing. He did the slam as well, and we had what we thought was a pretty good game earlier. We were only like 70,
Yeah.
so it's one of those ones where I'm statting everybody the same, and if you can crack an 80% game, you legitimately played very, very
You know that you did pretty much everything you could do.
for sure.
It does make you appreciate, how good the world's
Yeah,
elite
when
are
everybody
when they're
sees
throwing
Brad
95%.
or even the slam actually when Guju played Jacobs. I mean, when Jacobs is curling 94% as a team.
Yeah.
Like that I statted that game. That was just an incredible display of curling. So it is pretty good for that.
So we have Kaylee Locke came around that corner guard, and why not? With the
Yeah,
hammer.
exactly.
That was a nice draw. She came in there top 12, and we just sort of traded a rock there when you came in, made the hit on the one on the center line there, and just sort of rolled out to the wings. So Kaylee looking pretty good for a deuce here. If she can kind of hit this yellow one on the nose, and or roll to the wings.
Yeah.
Wendy's kind of got to force the issue here. I mean, if Kaylee rolls out, she might think about even throwing a center guard up.
Yeah, I for sure, or potentially loop around that blue, around the yellow.
Yeah.
Just try to get something in here that's harder to hit.
But there is no rollout here.
This is
just
perfect.
A perfect shot. Clinical
So
hit and stick.
I think you probably still have to try to draw somewhere.
So
You
we're
could
still
hit
early
roll.
enough in the end. She could probably hit and roll here. That's
I mean,
not going to kill
if you really wanted to, you could put up a center just sort of as we're looking at it, the left side of center, to give yourself something.
Oh.
But
It's a short one.
you're definitely gambling at that point because if they ever get a good one buried, you might never
That's
be able
true.
to use it.
This-
But early in the end, like if you threw this center, just touch the center on the left hand side,
Yeah.
they've got to think about it because you can obviously hit and roll the one top 8 to be buried or draw around or anything like that. So
Alternatively, she could draw around everything
Yes,
on,
for
on the
sure.
corner hand side there. Draw to the 4 foot buried. Not always ideal to be drawn around the corner. I mean,
no, especially not without hammer.
no
but
center guard. It kind of is what it is. With Locke lying too there.
this would be a good candidate for a very quiet weight hit and roll to try to roll deeper into the house.
pretty
This looks pretty
close.
close.
That's a really nice shot.
Just
Yeah.
a hair
It's
too
rolled a
far.
bit too far, but a great effort. And it's this hit and roll is not made by Kaylee yet.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
So now that's when you're in strong.
Well, now,
So we're seeing board weight, and this should be the slightly swingier of the two turns.
I think that's kind of what you're going to see most of the week.
Yeah.
These nice board weight hits. They're running really nice.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
And
just
if
too hard
you
to.
want to keep your shooter in play, if you're worried about rock positioning, I think that's going to be the weight of choice.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
You can't like in this scenario here. You really don't want to roll out, even if he knows it. You
Yep,
want to keep
yep.
your deuce alive. If you roll out, they bury a good one. Now all of a sudden you're chasing again.
He's looking a little tight.
This
I
might
don't
be
know if they
picking their
got their
own.
own blue here or not.
Nope. Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
they did.
yeah.
So
Tough.
now we've gone to a force scenario.
So this is interesting. Yeah, probably weren't expecting this if you were Wendy.
Off chance, like it's
That was a
still
tough
not a
shot to
great
play.
scenario to steal.
No, you could, try and hit and roll under the corner. It's a high corner.
It is. You could throw another guard here, to be honest. You're only
One-
second.
one
You're only
could.
second. You got 4 rocks left to come. Again, I still want it on that left side of center. But
I think she's probably going to try and play the hit roll. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with running
No.
center guard. I agree.
I don't hate this call either. Like the force is not. If you force one to get 2 back and do the math there, that way you'd be tied coming home.
Yep.
Now that'd be tied without, but still.
You throw a center guard though. 'Cause I think that yellow is probably edge on edge. I mean, she
Yeah.
obviously went after it last shot.
Yeah, I
She
agree.
did clip it a bit, but then all of a sudden you got a center guard and Locke is line 2, blue separated, and you're
Yeah.
kind of where you were before. So I don't mind that call by Wendy
No,
there.
no, for sure.
Just kind of the.
There might be a double opportunity here.
I suspect that there is. Looks like maybe half of a rock or third.
Even
of
if
a
you
rock.
rolled under or rolled onto the corner.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty good.
absolutely. I think it's a little thin, pretty close.
This is very close. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
what a
a
great
really nice
shot. She
That's-
stuck around,
that's about
froze,
as good
and,
as you
and
can do.
shot. Yeah.
So now you're into the freeze.
Is it shot?
scenario.
I think
It's
so.
shot too, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're definitely in a freeze scenario where you really need to lock this on the corner buried.
Yeah, corner free should get you shot.
Yep.
So that'd be a great toss. And if you're a little heavy, even just kind of curl around the two of them there.
Yep, for sure. That's also another perfectly good chance to sit shot rock. I mean, you're trying to manufacture steel here with not a great
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is just. You're always thinking about plan Bs,
Yes.
right? I'm not suggesting, you should probably try and draw behind the two there. But, it's just if you're a little heavy or if it's gating a bit on the line.
Yeah.
Well, she'll be quite happy if she can lock one onto that blue and on the corner there and be shot.
yeah, for sure. If you can get a third frozen, dead buried, shot rock.
Like you said, the whole 440 is still open, so
Yeah.
it's not ideal for
No.
stealing, but
But we're getting into this part of the game now where you're getting into potentially trickier ice down the middle.
yeah.
You never know on a draw when you get to the 6th, 7th, 8th or even the 5th really in our game earlier, where you
Yeah,
might get
yeah.
a path that's just worn a lot more, and then all of a sudden it kind of fudges up on you when your sweepers aren't expecting.
Yeah, you never know what the paths are like. Sometimes, they like to sort of snap on you, and then, if they start moving. and
Now
the weight
sweepers
comes
aren't
off,
on this at all, so I suspect this might be a hair heavy.
It
looks
looks
close.
pretty close. I think the
I think they
line
really
just
need to
didn't
curl
curl up.
this.
So this is kind of that plan B I was talking about, but
They just had to go a little sooner.
Yeah,
Try to
so
wrap
they
that
should've-
partly buried underneath the
if
blue.
I were sweeping, I would have tried to just
Yeah.
carve that.
Even if you're back 4.
Yeah.
They're looking real close. They must
They
not
think
think they're
they-
shot, but
I think it's really
I-
close.
I would bet on blue.
It
It must be closer than we think.
without a proper overhead, like I'm not prepared to wager anything.
Well,
They
we
might-
happen to have that,
So
and it is actually very close. It might even
this
be
even
yellow.
looks yellow from
It
this
does, yeah.
one. Look at you finding the overhead camera. Gosh, have we been using this all game?
Well, it's kind of skewed a little bit, but
So you think she's probably trying to hit and roll.
I would say they're trying to hit and roll away.
Well, it
You
depends
can-
on whether they think they're shot or not. Really, like.
Do you want to nose it though, and give them the chance? Well,
Well,
yeah,
no, but
both.
if they're not, if they think
Yellow's
sorry, if
second.
they think yellow is 1 and 2, then they could try and just sort of hit and
Well-
roll to the corner freeze.
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
The other option here is
Shoe has to have
for sure
Perfectly
you
so.
could kind of play this a little thinner and try to just kiss the yellow on the way
Yep,
by,
yep.
just to guarantee that you
The
are.
line is looking closer to that. Now she's gonna roll out, I think.
The rollout.
She might. Oh, she just straight flashed it. Ooh,
Nah, that's a big oops.
that's the big oops. Is right.
So now, if you're sitting two, you probably just guard.
I would probably. I think you're probably guarding one way or the other.
Now the other option is to tap that a foot.
If,
and sit
yeah,
right
if
on
the
the
tap
nose.
gets you 1-2, then you're not wrong. Yeah,
If the tap ends up sitting at 1-2 or 1-2-3,
and if
the
you can
double's
kind
no
of,
good.
yeah,
Especially if your third, double's no good. And
Question mark.
it certainly brings the chance to come right back in this game
100% agree.
on the way.
If you could actually get a little bit inside of nose
For sure.
and make that tap that way,
They're on top
and
eight.
you shot 1 and 2, that could be really nice. Tempt Kaylee into the draw.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be a cold draw. too.
Yeah,
I think
make her
they
think she's
indicated.
got a bit of backing. Yeah.
I think they actually indicated they're going top 8 center line, which I don't totally understand. You could queue up a triple here too if you're not careful.
Get back to the middle for the two.
If you,
Yeah,
put this,
you're
if
not
you drop
wrong,
this
yeah.
top 8 split in the center line, it's
Yep.
going to almost be a
Yep.
nose. And you're not going to move very far. I really liked Wendy's initial call of tap there,
It's
but
probably tough to get rid of the middle yellow. No,
well, not
you
if
got to
end
throw
up.
pretty hard.
Yeah,
Normally, early in the game,
I
But you're not wrong.
I would
also.
love
If
to
you
see
get them all
this.
moving.
I would
yeah.
love to see this brought in for third shot,
if you're on the
Looks pretty like top 12, top 8
even if
to
the
me.
nose frozen.
so I may
Yeah.
hit that.
This is where they called it.
It's full 8. Oh, sweet bird.
That's it's a
Not
foot
bad.
shy where they called it. So
Although it's
I
there is
think
still a port.
it's not a pretty one.
You wouldn't want to throw through it?
No, not really.
What it is,
I'd be okay
expand what it does. It tries to expand
not throwing that.
I know a lot of players in the middle.
You might be able to throw the out turn through that port.
You very well could, because that'd be the swing of your side, so it'd be tough.
Okay.
Most of them are outside.
They're looking at it though. They're sizing it up. Now I don't know
think
what
the
turn
port's
they're
still
looking
there.
at.
I'd probably
Yeah.
throw it with the in because it
Okay.
runs a little straighter.
Yeah.
And then you might if you can ever cross it a hair and sort of roll
Yeah,
into your
yeah,
blue, you
works.
might end up sitting two.
Two rocks in the eighth, one rock in the fourth.
There's really no you can't really over curl this because you're just gonna kind of crotch it on blue,
Yeah, which
and
is
then
fine.
you're gonna be line
That's
two
a
one
pretty
way or the
well.
other.
That's another easy way to get two.
So the pro side miss here is a little bit tight.
Yeah. As long as
Not
you
so
get-
tight as to hit the guard,
as long as
obviously.
as long as you get
Yeah.
by that high guard, you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, indeed.
So we'll
And
see what happens. It's a big shot because if yellow is currently sitting two and you happen to crash a guard, that'll put you literally right
Yeah.
back in this. That is anybody's game.
There's just so many multiple reasons.
Out here for Kaylee Locke.
So it depends how the team wants to play. And
Throwing a fair bit of weight at this too.
They're pounding it for line here, although it looks pretty
It looks
good.
to me. I think
There
it's
we go. They got
curl.
off of it.
Nice shot.
Whoa, nice shot.
Roll.
She does roll.
So we're gonna have a measure to find out, I think, because everybody was looking at that rock pretty damn close.
Yeah,
And
I'm not prepared to call anything.
no,
it becomes predictable. And the other team knows you're gonna do it, so they'll do something, assuming that's what you're gonna do anyway. If you-
Oh yeah, place your bets, everyone.
this is gonna be close. A steal would be huge.
Teams that ran into experience.
Steel would be
That becomes harder to do.
Yep.
as the teams get better.
would bring Wendy within
They
1
just
point.
indicated
They
it's
just
yellow.
pointed no measure needed. Okay,
How do you do something different depending on how much?
So yeah.
so
we're,
we've got a game here all of a sudden. It's quite tight. Obviously, Wendy probably not super pleased to give up the 4 points early, but showing some determination here to bring it back to 4-3 after 5.
Yeah. It's we're starting to get back into the realm of anybody can get this now.
Anybody's game. So we'll be right back for end number 6 here.
And we're back for in 6, and what we just saw there was where that no-tick rule comes in handy. So because that first guard was thrown touching the center line, splitting the center line in our case, that's actually not quite placed back perfect.
You'll be happy enough with this.
Yeah, that rock can't move. So by touching it on their first one, Team Locke, that rock comes out of play. Guard goes back where it was.
Yeah.
And it's really penalizes now.
Yeah, I mean, this is that advantage we were talking about earlier with the 5 rock and the no tick zone is that, Locke's rock comes out of play. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
completely comes out of play.
And then the guard goes back, and now, so Wendy's got now the center guard back where it was. She gets the rock. Throwing now, so she could throw another center guard. Or
I would definitely be throwing a second center, but
I would like to. I would like to see
don't
that
hate
as well.
coming around. You're not as likely to see either of these teams play the high hard run backs. It's just not their style.
So this one's hanging a bit.
Yeah, this one's also not very heavy.
So
It's like maybe sort of top 12. It's going to be wide open.
It's going to be wide. Well, I might get back to edge on edge. But I think, you're pretty much wide open. Yeah, you are.
Well, both teams will have a chance, I guess, to get some experience here, get some good tight games in. I think both teams are signed up for the Scotties. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I think Steven was saying we actually have 7
We have
registered for the ladies.
a lot, which is probably the most I have seen
In a
in
long
recent
time.
memory. So you love to see 7 teams for the Scotties, and I
And
guess we got
12 for the
12
men's.
for the Tankard. Yeah,
So it's going to be a busy week here with both events at the same time.
exactly. And so lots of good games to be had here, and practice for all the teams playing.
Yeah, this is definitely one of your more premier events we had here on
Yep.
the island for a tune-up for.
Yeah, and an opportunity to work out the kinks beforehand, and
Yeah, for
just
sure.
go through some of the motions. And,
like more than half the teams this year playing the Tankard on the men's side are actually playing it for practice for
for the clubs. Yeah, so
'cause that's our other big event this year.
we've got yourself to your team.
Yep.
I think Ken Pettigrew.
Yep.
Who else is going to the clubs? this year?
Feltham and them will be.
They're not coming in for the Tankard.
They're not playing Tankard, but
Okay,
they are
they're
definitely
here.
playing
So they're here at the
clubs.
Rick Rowsell. And anyone else going, or is that kind of it?
Last year they had 7. I suspect they're going to have more than that this year. There's several teams that play in our major
Yeah.
league that will definitely go out.
I don't expect Jeff Thomas won't be playing clubs. He'll be playing
Probably seniors.
seniors.
Well, maybe. The problem is
Look,
seniors in Lime
look,
City.
you never know. You never know.
No,
But anyway, it's
seniors being in Lab City makes it a lot harder.
you're right. It's a good tune-up for whatever provincials
Yes,
you're
anything you're gonna play
playing.
Down in the 3 zone,
So this is looking pretty good if they're but
Must have crashed the guard again.
and 3 being
That one they had that one made. They just sort of missed the line there a little bit.
took off on them a bit. You might see a few more of those now. late in the
This is
game
kind
when
of
you just
where we
kinda
saw our
snap.
sheet start to
Yep.
get a lot more curl in the middle and
Yeah.
kind of come down quite a bit in their speed.
Yeah.
We probably got up to 12, almost 15 feet slower by the time we played the 8.
Yeah, we were about 13-7 or
13-9 there
Yeah.
by the end of it versus 16 start.
yeah.
And
Quite a drop.
For those that don't know with stopwatch times, like when you hear split time on any like live stream or TV or whatever, a tenth of a second usually on a split time is about 6 feet, and on your hog to hog time you're looking at about a half second for about 6 feet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty significant. Also shows you how precise some of these guys are. When
Oh,
they're down to hundreds of
foolish.
seconds.
Yeah. That's a bit of a big miss there for Wendy. I think, Kaylee can now kind of just hit and lie to and, just kind of try and hit whatever Wendy throws up.
just stretches out the guard.
This is over curling a bit. No, she's
pretty
good.
much
She's on the
perfect.
nose. That's perfect.
It's gonna be pretty good.
Just that nice board weight again. It just was looking like it was moving, and that's because it was.
Yeah, it came in nice.
It just finished nicely there.
The second one will come straight back down.
And it looks like Wendy's playing some sort of
This is what
something away from center, some sort of
I thought they were
hit
playing
or
the hit
tap.
roll. I'd be tempted to just draw.
I would probably just draw around everything.
Well, I guess within one now, you don't really want to risk giving up the whole works of it.
The other option would be playing the hit and roll off the wide.
I agree. I actually
Yeah.
like that better.
Yeah,
You're just playing the straight one.
This is
close
pretty
when
close,
you
actually.
motioning it. Almost got both. They just kissed the other blue
Yeah.
there.
Unfortunately,
Pretty good effort.
rolled out. I wouldn't
This
not.
is,
Okay.
Shoes first rock.
There's a couple options here.
Haley, what rock is this? Is this the
This is third first, I believe.
Oh.
Second.
I mean, she could run up and peel the guard.
That's my thought too, but I guess you kind of want to score in 6.
Yep.
Then you give up
Yep.
hammer in 7. You got to hammer back at 8.
Well,
And probably
I'll
all.
look at this one, Mark.
Now, if you peel, I mean, you know, you can always score 1
Yes, this
Um,
is true.
if you're happy enough with that. Obviously, this is, you know, the play for 2. And 2 is very big, to
Yeah,
be clear.
two would be-
You
2
know,
and
to
6
go up
always-
3 after 6
This is crashing the guard. This is
chips off.
big, big danger.
So that's, I mean, at least it's not
Better
staggered.
than a stagger.
Yeah,
Half dozen on the- they haven't made one yet. They know they've won.
but that is a bit of a big miss. You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Other than that, they've missed
So now you got,
it.
again, this is kind of a
They've missed all-
either or. You can definitely play the hit and roll. In fact, I don't mind it
They
now.
haven't been
You could also just straight up draw.
Yeah.
Either shot's perfectly fine.
right now,
The interesting thing is,
curling.
that blue rock is now about a rock deeper
Yeah,
than it was.
you're gonna
with
roll behind the
double.
tee line for
So
sure.
you're gonna roll behind the tee line, which
But-
is honestly, I mean, it's not too bad.
Without
at this
hammer,
point of the
especially,
game.
it's
Yep.
not the end of the world. They try to freeze you, and all of a sudden you got a bottle. You're going to be the one on the bottom behind the center line.
Doesn't mean you're probably gonna want to get another one in front of it later,
Yes.
but
Well,
one rock at a time, you know.
Yeah.
you think this is gonna be pretty close.
Pretty
again.
close.
So they're working this hard for line right now.
Nose wouldn't be awful.
Oh, when you change your mind, now we gotta curl it,
Again,
Nose wouldn't be horrible because you're a rock higher. If they try to roll behind now,
yeah, which is basically what you got.
you're going to roll probably just behind the button,
that's gonna be
like
fine.
back pin.
If they're throwing that same sort of control board weight, I would bet you're right.
Yeah.
It would be
At which
just
point now you
sort of
freeze.
back. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you could throw it a bit harder here to try and get the flatter roll.
yeah, or you could also roll this away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when,
Nothing
and
wrong
then
with
Wendy's
that.
got a really
Probably
interesting
the correct
decision.
call. Yeah.
Plug in after 6, and still anybody's game.
I'm trying to hold the one that's-
Sweepers haven't looked at this one yet, so I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, I think she's just gonna kind of hit the nose here.
Yeah. I wouldn't have loved to hit the nose.
Oh,
Only
she
roll
got a
it.
nice little roll.
That's pretty
actually.
good.
The sweepers were pretty casual about it,
Yeah,
but
that's pretty
that's
good.
a pretty nice shot.
Because it's very tough to roll under now.
Yeah.
Now, I'd probably play this again with like really quiet weight.
They're sizing up the draw there now too. Yeah, I think probably you play this as some sort of tap, right?
I agree. Tap behind the tee line.
Yep.
Try to roll under and get yourself set up. I mean, a steal here would be huge.
Yep.
Then you can force them to 1 and 7, and you're only down 1 now, coming home in 8 with hammer. Anything can happen.
Lots of interesting outcomes here. You know, the steal is huge, obviously. And all of a sudden, you know, you got one hammer to one hammer, and that advantage is actually in Wendy's favor, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's,
exactly.
you know, obviously an interesting
Now-
outcome. But if she forces to 1, it's not the end
No,
of the world
it's still
either.
not bad either.
But you know, giving up 2 is kind of
Not
game
good.
over. Not game over, but it's
It makes it a
it's
lot
not.
harder.
You're very uphill climbing.
Yeah. This has got to stick around.
Ooh, not quite. I don't think.
Now, if it's me here, I'm going up and ripping off those guards as soon as I can walk.
I like that call. You're sizing up the draw. I think you could also tap or split,
You split 'em?
but
The split's definitely great if you can make it.
think about the double peel is not, you know, it's not automatic by any stretch. It's
What I'd end up doing is trying to go sort of
The
like,
wick?
yeah, and
Yeah.
try to continue into the ring.
kind of through the middle of the
Hit
two of them,
yellow
basically.
first,
Yeah,
into the backside of your blue.
Yeah.
And
not automatic though.
No, it isn't.
So I don't mind. I don't mind the draw here. If,
Yeah,
you know,
it just can't be heavy.
no,
you
and
could
it
even draw
doesn't
away,
look
go to
too
the wings
bad.
over. You know, tempted that you can come down and freeze on that yellow, just barely.
Although
back.
this might be just
This looks
exactly
long
in the
and
wrong
easy.
spot.
It's back
It's
eight for
pretty
sure.
big. Yeah. Okay.
Then
Right through even?
just stick around.
Tell you what, that's better than back button.
Oh, 100%. It does still give Wendy this chance. Now, interesting, they're
Of
going
course,
to change
yeah.
up a turn here. You just watch them come down the other side. I would have personally followed that down.
Now this is the more curly side.
No, this should be the straight side.
Are we playing? We're playing 6. We're coming home. This is the
Yeah,
straight side.
this should be,
Yeah.
this should be the straight side. So
Yeah. My apologies.
Totally agree.
It is interesting.
yeah,
Maybe
they
she's
must know this
thinking.
better. I mean, it comes down to if you know this side better, sure,
Oh, yeah.
100%. Or maybe they're thinking back their head if they're hair tight, they can play the
You can
tap.
play the tap. Yeah.
But really, if you're playing the tap, you've missed.
I mean, it's
Completely.
pure speculation at this
Yeah.
point. What she's thinking. I mean, maybe she just looks better to her
Yeah.
in the eye, right? Like it's who knows.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
you know, as much as we say this is now the straighter side, this side has been curling all right
Yeah.
now that they've had a few rocks down the path. So.
Yeah, and I it's kind of a weird phenomenon. Like, usually, a lot of times here, especially, the wider you go, the more you tend to get a little more curl. It almost comes off a bit of a ramp.
Yeah.
Which, if you've got a straight run, say edge of 4 foot, you can kind of push through it.
Yeah.
Which you can't. If you just threw it edge of 4, you're gonna stay in that gutter the whole way down the sheet.
Anyway, an opportunity here for Wendy, one way or the other. If she makes
sure.
a nice one here, sort of top 4, top button, Kaylee will probably have to think about playing a run back on,
Yep.
on the blue, or that's probably, I mean, that'll probably be what she does.
Yeah.
No, sweepers are working this pretty hard.
This
I'm not
is-
sure that this is anywhere near.
This is the only other problem is this. I think it's the first rock we've seen.
It's been sitting there for a few ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you'd expect for for a section of the ice that's just been
Yeah.
sitting so long. Is you get a little bit of frost creep in, and then what you thought was T line is
Yeah.
now, a guard.
My daughter made it to the rank of #1 babysitter.
He hates those.
Yeah. So now we're gonna see a same shot there attempted. It's just trying to get a draw here around the centers.
They've just seen this come down, so I would expect line
I would
and
say
weight
this
to
will
be
be
pretty
close.
close.
over and does the switch right? So it's like an hour and a half, whatever.
No, Alexander, so she said that,
So actually, we're seeing, based on the broom here, we're seeing kind of the same girl both sides,
Yeah.
which is nice to see again.
Yeah. It's after the last maintenance of the ice, it definitely got a bit straight.
A little bit weird, a little bit like your skip's ice rating ability definitely needed to be.
It was
point.
challenged. I don't mind that so much, no, but never had any doubt that the ice would kind of come back to
a little more to what we're used to.
Yeah, this looks really
This looks
nice
short
if it's
again
by.
as well. Oh no,
No,
this one's
she's
good.
by. She's I think top 8.
This one's good. It's pretty good.
Now you got.
They got the same draw.
Now you got to. Yeah, well, you don't really because the high guard is in the way.
I think you can get around that as long as, like, even if you're top side 4 foot here, as long as you're buried around one of the two, I think you're kind
No,
of.
for
okay.
for sure. Yeah, you can't make it as nicely as
You could play tap
before.
too here. That's fully valid as well. I think that's
Looks
actually
like
what they're playing.
looks like that's the call. Yeah.
Where that blue didn't quite come in deep enough.
Yeah.
This is definitely there. And actually, that high guard gives you a little more room to tap it.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You can basically tap it on either side.
Yeah.
As long as you're pretty close to nose. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this will be a little bit of a weird spot because we're kind of running straight down the slide path. So
Yes.
at this point, if there's any spot with wear, this will be it.
And it's 4-2 right, 9-7, hammer bronze.
You might see it curl quite a bit too, like once it crosses center,
Might kind of snap there. Yeah.
might kind of snap.
Pleased to be here, Mark.
These are always kind of hard to throw.
There,
Yeah.
you're like the way we were trying to explain it. I was trying to explain it to our skip. It's like you're almost calling it just a straight draw, and then you have
Yeah.
to put the broom where you think the rock's going to pass through.
Yeah.
It's sort of the same idea.
And the same thing when you're crossing centers. Like sometimes.
Oh yeah,
You're not getting that nice gradual
No,
curl
you're
like you're
not
on the drop.
confident whether it's just going to run there or if,
Yeah.
if it just takes off right
Yeah.
away. Which either one is possible.
Anyway, we'll see what happens here. The rock is on its way, so this looks a little tight to me.
Yeah, they're on it here to try to hold this straight for now.
Although it is running pretty nicely there now.
Curling. This
Gotta
is
go
where we
hard for
thought
line.
we were going to see some curl.
The weight looks pretty.
Weight looks
close.
great.
She might just pop it in behind those blues if she's got the weight.
I just got it a little too thin. Oh,
I don't know.
It's
She's in for
close.
second if nothing.
it's definitely
else.
second. It is wide open or mostly
Get
open.
that overhead on the go again, Evan. I gotta check that out. Yeah, so I think that is
That's
certainly
second.
second shot. Yeah.
So,
And if she's playing for the hit, she got to be a bit careful here.
you can only see probably less than half just
Okay,
based
so
on our
she
overhead.
can't
here.
probably jab back. Probably can't jam it on the
No,
back
I think
one.
if you make contact, you're,
I think even if she does, she's probably getting two anyway.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I don't think your shooter's rolling out.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Left-hand side, there might preference here, to come around the long guard with the blue.
She'd have to hit it exceptionally thin jamming
Yeah.
on the side
yeah,
blue.
you'd have to hit almost
Oh,
nothing.
never mind what I'm saying. I think the more likely miss here would be to crash on the
On the guard.
blue guard there. Yeah.
Worst thing I guess you could ever do would be just kiss that blue guard coming by and just take that yellow in for shot, which is entirely
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, it's pretty difficult to do, but I've seen crazier outcomes.
All you'd have to do is just touch that guard on the way by. They're pretty straightforward. I think
I expect she'll be pretty
they
close
can
on
see
this.
more than half.
She's got a little bit, probably like 3/4. Anyway, I expect she's got. They've been throwing that nice board weight all game. She's been pretty close on most of her hits.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah,
pretty
for
close
sure.
to this.
This
So
would be for a big
the
three.
question is, yeah, if she sticks around for 3, that's almost handshakes. But if she rolls out and just gets the 2, we'll likely see Wendy try and play a hyper aggressive 7. Yeah,
That'll get you back within 1.
yeah.
But certainly, you are going to be trying at everything possible.
Yeah.
You're down 4 playing 7 is never.
Well, she'd be down if
Oh,
if they
they
get.
got a discussion coming back again.
This is the timeout, is it?
I'm guessing basically they must see less of this from the hack than they think or than we think. Looking at the
I
run
guess
back.
if I mean if you're throwing as a righty, it's probably a little bit more guarded than we would think from here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're potentially looking
Yeah,
at the blue on
they
the
could
blue
play
on
the
yellow is
the short
definitely
run
there.
is a great call. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that board waiter's not suiting your eye, I love that little short run.
It's only a 2-foot run.
Yep.
You make contact probably 80%
Just
of the
get
time.
rid of the yellow. I mean, and you've also you got a catcher almost for the one that
Yeah,
you're running
you can
back.
almost send it into the
to
blue
get your
first and
deuce.
still make it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can hit anywhere from almost nose to half rock on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've switched calls here to playing the short little run.
Yeah. Curling. There's always more than one shot.
Always a way to do it.
Yeah.
I remember there at the Slam, Nicholas Adine watching a couple of his games, and like they'll come up and call a shot, and you're like, what are they doing? One of the ends he played around the horn off a rock, both sides of the 12-foot and center line. I was like, nobody else is even gonna see that.
They're playing a
But he
different
needed 3,
sport.
and that's how he got it.
Oh, just over the top.
So I think it's only gonna be 1 blue.
Should just be 1 blue, and I think Wendy is wiping a bit of sweat off of her forehead
Yeah,
there.
for sure. That's a big bullet dodge to
Yeah.
give up 3 there.
Just a bit wide, I guess, on that one, or maybe a bit too much weight. But either way, we got a 5-3 game here now, heading into the 7th end. We'll be right back with you.
We're back in here for end number 7, and we got a nice center guard thrown up by Team Locke, followed by a fairly nice come around, and Team Dunne was just a hair heavy there on their first, so
Came right through the back there. Actually, there is a bit of an opportunity here. It looks like Locke slid just sort of back button behind the center guard, so
Yeah.
she can lock one on here. I mean, game on here for the 7th.
for sure, yeah.
She'll be gunning pretty hard for her deuce here, I think.
I think you got to. I think you got to try to at least get tied up coming home. Down one without is
Yeah.
not a very favorable scenario here.
Line looks really nice on this. Gotta curl a bit. Gotta be there too.
Line's great.
Gotta get it
A
there.
couple feet out of it.
Too bad. That's a
No, it's
usable rock
definitely
for
usable.
Wendy. The line was perfect. Yeah, you'd prefer that to back 8 for sure.
Yeah, or wide open even.
Or wide open is right.
Be a tough out then for sure to try and get these things.
Yeah, they got to try.
So interesting choice here. Like if they're gonna play another guard, they're going all out for steal, which is sometimes not necessarily gonna pay off.
It takes a certain kind, like, it's not for the faint of heart to throw up a guard on that rock.
No,
That's back button with a yellow in front.
I like the corner freeze personally.
Yep,
But,
I like the corner freeze a good bit as well.
You could definitely guard. It's just risky.
Yeah, it's.
Always pretty close.
It looks like they've changed their mind here. They're just gonna come down and freeze their
Yeah,
own blue,
I
and I think that
that's not
makes.
bad either.
She kind of tapped both, so the corner freeze on the
Yeah.
yellow behind it, not really so bad.
I would suspect the corner freeze on the yellow is the shot call, and then
Yeah.
the corner freeze on blue is sort of plan B.
Yeah, I would expect that as well. The corner freeze. Is
The
quite
only
nice.
downside I could see with the freeze on the blue is you might leave them an opportunity to tap, set up a pocket, or raise
Yep.
the yellow back and
Yep,
set
I
up a
agree.
pocket, either one. Because that yellow that they left, even though it's short, is perfectly raisable.
Looking tight. I think
This
she's
all
just a
guard.
guard. Yeah.
This is kind of what we saw in our game earlier, where if you got a little tight to center, you really couldn't save them with any kind of sweeping.
Yeah. Well, it's not only like it just started to move kind of right away.
Yeah.
If you were a little tight of the run there,
Yeah.
and the weight came off, and yeah.
then
So
that's
now
it,
we
you
got
can't do nothing with it.
staggered centers, which is really not so bad, I guess, if you're Locke. You know,
No,
you already
you
got
already
shot
without
back
without
there.
hammer.
You don't have hammer.
Rolls away.
You are shot for now.
You are.
Yeah.
And if you get a good one in here, Wendy's probably going to have a double peel at some point, which you really don't love to do.
We play with a little less weight. You just try and shuffle them around to a corner or something.
Well,
now,
you're starting to see this call a lot now, where like instead of playing a double peel, you play a single peel and roll to a corner.
Yeah.
You give yourself sort of 2 shots in one.
she
Now,
might kind of just chip and roll to a corner here if she's got the
This is gonna
weight.
leave a third
No,
center.
it doesn't quite.
The odds are not my favorite.
Chipped off, so, something to run perhaps.
Yeah, it's still not ideal.
No, not at all.
I think-
I'm always looking for the bright side.
Yeah. It's for sure.
Now, we were down-
If it had been a little tighter, it would have been definitely more usable.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I think you also took away the tap on your rock that's the other side as well. But it's a lot harder now for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You're playing with 3 all day.
Your back is
So
Go ahead.
we'll see now. Kaylee and them are trying to wrap
Trying
the
to come in
second
the
one in
4
here
foot
now,
here,
come into the 4 foot and make that scoring zone way smaller.
Yeah. Just don't want to be heavy here.
No,
Sweepers seem to be aware. Lighter is better than
later
heavy.
is definitely better to take.
They buy. They might leave it too long.
They
Oh,
waited a little
might have
too
left
long.
that a little too long.
So that's
Now that might have been a sweeper choice to chip. Might have been heavy.
I don't know. It only rolled top 12, and they didn't hit very much of it.
Yeah.
I think they sweep a little bit and get that by. I think it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, I agree.
So as long as Brett doesn't jam zip back.
Either way, that opens the door back up for Wendy here. The freeze is certainly still there.
On the right hand side of the 12.
It's too thin.
Pretty precise, but that is the nature of curling.
Even if your half buried top 4 here is not horrible, like there's gonna be options then to raise into that
Yeah,
shot
I
rock.
agree. This is hanging. This is certainly not tight like the others have
No,
been.
this hasn't
But is
gotten
this
that break
too
point
heavy?
yet.
Is the question. She's on the blue still. You get a
Well, a
little
little
chip.
wick
It's
would be
not
alright.
bad.
I don't think he's playing a double.
Yep.
Sneaky little
That
break.
is sneaky indeed. So that's not a bad result.
That's really because you can only see about a third, and a
Yep.
third dead stops.
Yep.
So
So there.
now you gotta be really careful.
If he rolls,
Kaylee's saying, "Yeah, we're still shot."
you're still
Second
rolling
shot's the yellow.
up.
Yeah.
Just can't jam. 'Cause if he jams-
So this has got to be made pretty good. If you're half frozen on the outside, I
Yeah.
see a double to sit 3 all day long.
I suspect so. Pro side miss here is obviously light.
Yes, for sure.
You know, if you come up a 3 guard, so be
So
it.
be it.
In fact, that might be what I would call it anyway.
Yeah.
7 or 8 feet for sure.
There's probably a chance of a thin double for 3 later off the blue and
There
top
is
12,
obviously
but
some
that's very
upside to
difficult.
being in the top 12, top 8.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of preventing the in off there.
And
or
ideally,
what have
obviously,
you.
the 100% their call here
Yeah.
is try to get to the inside
Yeah.
half frozen.
You got to be sort of on the wall.
This
It's-
might be on the guard.
I think she's close to buy there.
It's close.
Yeah, she's by, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, we're good there. So now it's just a matter of weight. This looks really good.
Shoes gotta drop
She's gonna freeze it, I think.
That's
Just
pretty
in the
good.
8 foot. So that's I
That's-
mean,
that's
that's
pretty good.
exactly where Kaylee tapped. So.
Yeah.
The bonus
Call in me.
Yeah, call them.
doesn't jam it on the left-hand side.
So if you're,
There's no double for 2.
Like
you
we
ever
said.
take on that thin double? That's what they're looking at.
So it doesn't matter.
Is it too early?
Well, you might never get a chance to play it.
Shoe was that drop.
I don't know how you get a
This
third
is-
one in here right now.
I know. This is the funny thing about curling.
Great shot.
In your,
You know you got it now. You don't know you're gonna
you
have
don't
it
know you're
later.
gonna have a shot for now. You might not have a shot for anything
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, you
later
might
on.
not. Wendy looking at the double run. I don't know.
And then jammed it up.
Yeah.
God, it is. It's lined up kind of nice. It is a pretty tough shot, though. You know,
Yeah.
just a 2 guard running into a 2.5 guard, running it back into the 8 foot, running it into the back button.
I mean,
But it is lined up
the
perfectly.
two
for
blues
them.
are queued up perfectly
Yeah.
there, so you can almost hit plus or minus probably an inch of that
Yeah.
top one, and
So-
still get away with
Good
this.
things can happen here too.
The only
Like
downside
she's
is it
a
is
little
blue coming in.
inside, you know, runs the back blue and
Yes.
the other blue, you know, might get the yellow running back.
Yep.
Like there's things might happen here as long as you're
It
pretty
really
close
shows
to
it
the
off.
nose. Yeah, and yeah, well,
With so
exactly.
But you right now you really do have most of the better angles. That top yellow center line is really good.
But I agree. It's never a fun thing running blue back,
No,
running the
this is just
opposite
gonna be
color
a
back
straight
in.
peel here.
Single peel. All right.
So we got one.
Yeah, never comfortable running back the opposition
No,
rock into the
no.
rings.
So now this is where you kind of like you got your one rock in
Things are
there.
interesting. Yeah.
You kind of want to protect it now if you can. And they're if they're gonna play the run back, it's always gonna be the blue one more than likely. Although you could run the yellow now
Yep. I mean, you prefer to run the yellow if you're
if you
winning.
can. Yeah, it's just an awkward angle,
Yeah, it's not as natural. I agree.
and you also still definitely have to keep an eye on the possibility of that in off
Still got the in off. Yeah.
for 3,
They were switching. We weren't.
which would be huge. That would put you up one with
Yeah.
or up one without coming home.
We were.
Yeah.
We've all been buddies since we were.
But-
So was this the call here? Is just a guard?
I
Is it-
believe it's the guard the run back. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Just a high guard on the run.
Skating a bit, but
You don't want to queue it
you
up.
don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to sit right on top of it.
Frozen is always the scary
dicey,
part with
yeah.
these because all of a sudden it becomes way.
If she's
easier.
not on the nose, it might be all right. But
No, this is gonna be all right. Even frozen here now, it's gonna be in
yeah,
the pocket.
yeah, absolutely.
That takes with both of them.
That's yep, yep.
That does the job.
So this is interesting. Probably just a double peel here. Just I say, as
Yeah,
I've
I
made.
think so.
But just you got to kind of try and clear up those guards in front. Give yourself something on the yellows in the back. I think that's what she's calling. It looks like maybe the back two are the ones she's trying to get.
I think you got to try to get your yellow
Yep.
top 8 center line opened up a bit.
Yep.
You might get lucky too. You come off the side of the yellow, it might come back on the
Might
yellow.
spin
anyway.
back.
You always love those occasionally.
Always, occasionally, I agree.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it works out terrible.
This is over curling again. I think she's
Oh,
on
you
the
get the thin
top
double?
here. She might get the thin one. Yeah, that's
That
not a
works out
bad.
good, too.
Yep, not a bad outcome there at all.
So that opens it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, mission accomplished. You got a tap on the yellow there now. You might have made the in off on the blue a little harder.
Yes, I agree.
Your textbook 1-3 and
But
It's
say la vie, you know.
yeah, you can't do everything.
No.
The center's on center.
Certainly, the yellow run on the 8 foot is way easier than the.
Still,
in-off.
yep, absolutely.
Well, I
Yep.
think it's only for 2.
That's plenty
we
though
can-
at this
well,
point.
yeah.
You gotta walk.
Let's see here. Yeah, no, it. Looking at our overhead here, it
There's a way
definitely
to
only
make
be
that
for
for
2.
3. Yeah.
Because that blue would be out counting your shooter. So nice having that overhead.
Yeah,
when we need
yeah,
it.
I'm a fan. I almost want you to leave it up. You know.
Yeah, it's a nice one to have when we need it.
You have to steal a point to get to the extra
So I believe this is a straight guard.
times.
Yeah, it's got to be sort of just on
Basically,
split and center there,
replace that
basically.
rock where
Yeah.
it was, and it does the job.
You may have an opportunity to score too.
Probably want this one kind of tight.
And you're up in the big city.
You know, one guard probably doesn't help you out a ton.
No, yeah, I'd want like a 2.5,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range. Oh, not tight enough that makes the run back easy, but
If
know,
you tuck
sort
it,
of-
yeah,
or tuck the piece,
exactly.
yeah.
But tuck piece, you might leave it anyway.
It's gonna
So
overcurl
this
and be
is,
high.
I don't know. I don't think it's quite over. Yeah, well, it
Yeah,
did
it
a little
really
bit. Yeah,
I think they can get down to nose with board weight.
I think so. You certainly got to try.
100%.
It's not.
They're
Yeah,
gonna play hack,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think you can definitely get to nose,
yeah.
or close enough to nose to make the yellow blue.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, it's a bit of a scary situation because there's an awful lot of yellows in the center
There's
line,
an
and no
awful lot
real
of
way to get
yellows.
rid of them.
she'll still have that tap again, hypothetically.
Yep.
So Kaylee will have to do something to get another blue in there,
Yeah,
or
and
to
you've got
get rid of a
absolutely
yellow.
nothing down the intern side.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a really big shot coming up here for Wendy.
Yeah, this is
This is
critical.
a game changer, as they say sometimes.
Yeah,
Occasionally.
yeah. TSN turning point.
TSN turning point.
So yeah, this will be a big one. Now this is going to be the path that's probably the most played in now.
Yeah.
So this should really finish at the end. And you're going to
They
be
should
coming
be
right into the
pretty.
slide path.
They should be pretty confident, I think, too, about what it's going to do. Certainly in the seventh end, you would hope.
We've
although
seen a whole
sometimes
bunch
there
of
are
rocks come down here,
changes.
too.
But yeah, we have seen a lot come down here. No, she's throwing hack, which I like too, because if she doesn't quite curl up enough and just kind of taps her yellow in,
You'll
you
lose
leave some
some.
yellow around and maybe open up the blue.
Well, your shooter's only going to roll, assuming you get close, your shooter's really only going to roll a couple inches.
Yeah.
You might tap the yellow into the pocket kind of thing.
This
and then
looks like
it's,
it might be a bit big. It's definitely got a curl.
Yeah, this for
So
sure.
this is kind of what I was talking
might
about. Now it
end up
is.
plugging on your own.
She might
She might not be hitting anything.
might not get anything.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's
Ooh.
that's not what you wanted there.
Probably just a bit spicy on the weight.
It looked a little big, yeah. It looked like more like board instead of hack, and then
Yeah.
it just runs.
So we've got,
So that's a bit of a big miss.
Yeah, that's a major
offense here.
one you did not want to miss.
But there's always a Hail Mary, so she might have that really thin in off, or she's got the double run right now. Of course, Locke might come down here and discard that and say, take your chances on the
Yeah.
in off there.
Well, but you know what happens there? As soon as you force the other team to play a shot like that, they
No,
have to
that's-
make it. You
It
got nothing else.
it sucks sometimes, kind of forcing the other team's hand into heroic shots,
Yeah.
right? Because then they make them every now and again.
Yeah, there's a few people that are famous on tour for that. Schuster's one of them. He made one there last
Really?
week.
Did he make a good one? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah, that in off the
it
board.
was pretty good.
And John Epping, when he was playing, obviously was.
Oh, that was like
known
crazy
for
high
crazy
guard
runbacks.
runbacks. Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to see if it's just the only thing you have.
Yeah. And this is a perfect
That's
guard.
perfect.
Yep. So that's well placed by.
So now that
Jalen
tap is
Locke there.
gone, and we shall see if they're even going to see the enough.
Looks like she's thinking about it. Yeah, she's eyeing it up. It is exceptionally thin.
It's like an eighth. Wendy
It's not,
has made
you're not,
these before.
yeah, it's not quite playing it to miss it. We're in the territory,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah.
have made contact.
Now,
It
you
is funny because I play with Wendy on Saturday night for Social League.
Oh,
and, I usually try to get her to play some of these shots because it's Saturday night. Like you might as well.
Oh, you've primed her for the
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is good.
we've done these numerous times, so she'll at least see it. It's just whether she wants to take it
Yeah,
on.
she has seen it.
Ah,
Now,
here we
you,
go.
You could play So would you play this? You think, Evan? Would you play this with like a lot of weight, or would you play it with sort of down weight?
I
to
think
try
you need
and-
at least normal.
sort of a 9.5. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're hitting like an eighth, and then you're only taking part of that into the second rock to move a third rock out of the
Yeah.
4 foot.
And you're playing this shot. Like
three.
you're trying to make it for 3.
Yeah, You're playing this. If you're gonna play this, you might as well.
If
play
you're
it
gonna
for
play a
three.
shot like this, you might as well try and get the big end out of it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that one. I think we'll see a bit of weight.
If it's possible, I'd love to see the out turn thrown at this to try to get the lower
Man,
roll.
I agree. I don't know if it's there. now with because you remember way
Yeah,
back earlier,
that-
yeah, they
that- that
tipped
other
it
one
over
that we
there
moved.
on the peel, but
They're looking at the yellow, yellow, blue here too.
It's too far out.
the double run there we were talking about. Yeah. So that's also there. Neither of them are high percentage shots. I would say. Are they eyeing up the blue as well on that corner? I don't like that.
That's a good way to give up more than one.
Well, it's kind. I mean, kind of
I'm
whatever. I
looking at the
guess.
high run too.
Deal with the outturn.
Choose your shot and throw it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if it's there, the in-off is definitely the higher reward shot for
yeah,
what you've got.
yeah.
Nope, we're gonna play the high one, I think.
So I think the angle is probably a bit more natural on this
It is,
high
yes,
run.
for sure.
So I kind of understand that you're just off nose on this one, whereas the other one is a little bit more, you know,
And you've got a
be a
little
bit more
more room
precise.
for error because if you send a yellow one
Exactly.
to your own yellow, you still probably score.
Yeah. So I don't mind this call.
Especially the owner skips now. I don't want to have to draw.
Are they playing this with like board?
They consider
Probably.
Just
Man, they've
tap,
been
tap.
throwing. Wendy's seem to move a bit. I think she's probably throwing a control normal.
Yeah, it just looks like a lot of ice to
It
me.
does,
for a
yeah,
run-
here
run
for a
back
high
from that-
run,
from that
yeah.
distance. Well,
I remember
we'll
thinking
see,
that
I
on
guess.
one of her normal weight hits earlier, and it curled up the nose
Yeah.
fine. So we'll see. Either way, this is. I won't say it's for the game. I mean, obviously, I think down 3 you play the eighth end one way or the other, but this is a game altering shot anyway.
Yeah.
even on a high level, there's a lot more goes into it.
They're working it early. I think it's pretty
They're
a little
close.
tight. It's pretty close though. Keep going hard. Oh, did they overdo the sweep?
Yeah.
Oh, just a
Just a
little
hair.
bit.
That's
Hey,
close.
That's a
That's as
very
close as you
really
can
good
get.
try from Wendy there.
So that'll be a steal of one.
Steal 1, and so down 3, coming
With
home in the
hammer.
8 with hammer. So we'll see how that shapes out now in a minute.
Whack the yellow one. You got Locke.
All right, and we're back here for the 8th end of draw 2 here, and Team Dunne down 3 with hammer, and a little bit of different choice here. So Team Locke starts with a well-placed center guard, and rather than the corner guard, they elected to draw around and just came up a hair short and open, which left Locke the hit and roll here. I don't think it rolled in. You could
No.
probably use that as a
It
corner.
looks
later on.
like we got a couple guards in play. They're not the correct color necessarily for Wendy, but they are usable.
They are usable.
And that is the key when you're down 3, is just have something to tuck your tuck your draws in behind there.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's still drawing around the center here, although they're working it pretty hard to get it to curl.
This might be clipping the corner. I suppose if you clip a piece of the corner, you'd be
I
all
don't
right.
think she's still on the corner.
As long as this is not through, I'm sweeping this for curl.
Yeah, I agree.
It can be back 8,
Tell you
back
what.
12, doesn't
And
matter.
that might be.
That could have been
I
buried.
still, you know what?
Waiting at the back of 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's 3/4
One of those things you almost don't want it back button anyway, but like,
You need 3 in house.
not that they're gonna freeze it, but yeah, you need to be buried for sure. So I would have been carving that. Now they were and then got off of it. I don't know if they thought it was heavier than it was, or
They might have, but
just kind of hit that slide path late, and then,
Yeah,
you know.
I think knowing how the ice behaves, you
Yeah.
that slide path. I think you carried that all the way to back.
Yeah,
8, you're dead
yeah.
buried.
Where the road is.
Now this is out there as well.
This is
on the
also
hit.
way
I
out
don't know
there, yeah,
if she's
this-
got the
this-
yellow or not.
I think
Close.
you're gonna get a piece.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's another one where the nice weight, the weight management was
Saved that
really good.
completely.
Yeah, she was definitely out there on the broom, but nice shot ultimately to get rid of another yellow. That's 2 gone. Just
Yep.
counting them up now.
You got 5 left. To make
5
play.
left.
We can give you a little bit of a stats update here coming into 8 too. A little bit of an increase. We're up to around about 55% versus 58 or 52. So pretty good there.
Yeah,
most
the
players
teams have
brought
played
their
a lot
numbers up here in
better.
the second half.
A lot better in the second half. There's no doubt.
So far, Team Locke though is definitely out curling at both the lead and second position. With actually Wendy's third is actually outplaying with a solid plus
Yeah.
on Kaylee's third here.
She's
So
made a lot of rocks.
she has made a lot of them, and Wendy's still been left with a couple real hard ones
Yeah,
the last few
yeah.
ends, but overall both teams have been playing better in the second half.
Yeah.
Play it over to
So that yellow rock is going to come up short and just kind of corner freeze the blue center. So a great opportunity now for Kaylee
double peel.
for the double peel here. Yeah.
So
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate miss there for
Yeah.
Wendy.
if it curls a little more, it's actually not too bad because you can use it kind of as a stagger guard,
True.
and it makes a double peel hard.
Yeah.
But that one's kind of just the worst result you could get
Yeah.
by taking it.
I mean, ultimately, I think she wanted it in the rings.
She did.
as
She
well,
wanted
and
that buried. Now this might
did
spill to a
kinda-
corner. Now we got staggered corners.
All right. We're
So
in
this-
business again.
A little bit of a game on here. Because if you bury a couple now, because it's going to take 2 shots to get rid of both corners.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're risking spilling the yellow into the rings. And not
Now,
out.
that said, those two appear to be frozen, so you might be able to actually kind of get a bit of drag.
You could, yeah. I'd almost play this to be back 8 foot on the first one.
I think I'd
Take
come
that
deep.
gamble.
I agree. Yeah, make that harder. That
Yeah.
shot harder, and also you're leaving room for more to get in there.
Yeah, but take this gamble. Try to get enough room to get at least 2 buried.
Yeah, I mean, you know they're not going to try and freeze you
No,
anyway.
they're
so.
going to be walking up playing a peel.
Now this
they
is
might try
a
the double
little
peel.
tight.
It's
Yeah, they're
gonna be
working
on the
this really
guard.
hard. It's really close, but I think they're just kind of crashing. Yeah, it's too bad. The weight was perfect.
Yeah, weight was absolutely perfect.
gotta get
So now this will be an open hit again.
Yeah. So I think you're probably looking to keep this somewhere in the 8 foot.
Yeah, ideally
Yeah.
roll left side.
Yeah.
just to make
Cut
this
down
a little
scoring
easier.
area. Yeah.
Now that we're actually.
Uh,
Haven't got to stay or what around it.
so this is just a pretty straightforward hit.
Pretty simple stuff here.
Hit sticks fine, hit roll
Yeah.
to the wings fine. Just any
They'll
basically try
just
to keep
be
the play away
cleaning
from
this
that corner.
most of the way down, I think. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, looks pretty good.
Perfect. You're going right down the slide path.
I think they're pretty close to the nose here, which is
That's
a nice.
fine.
That's a nice result.
Like, you're down 3, you really can't afford to play the hit and roll to go behind the
No,
corners. It's
no.
just all draw.
You got to keep your rocks in the rings.
We're down to 4 rocks left.
Yep.
And 3 of them got to count. And
Yep.
it's going to be very hard to
Still
make
got
that
the
yellow.
stagger guards, which is nice, but
Yep.
yeah, every pretty much everyone's got to count here now. So
Yeah, so the only luck you could potentially get is if they do try to double peel that top yellow may spill in.
yep,
But you need them to play it. Because you're going to lose your shooter, so.
Do you think they would be so kind?
Well, you never know. You get one buried.
That was the only
Yeah.
news.
Up 6-3.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for the feature game tonight. Team Grattan with a final score 6-3 after 8 innings over
Shoot.
Team Shoe. And
Looking pretty close. I think they got to go working hard for line, actually.
It's starting to curl now. You're in that slide pad
Same,
area.
yep,
I think now you're
same
just starting
thing.
to get some curl. And it's catching all of them
Yeah.
off guard now.
Yeah,
You really got to try to get one of these 2 in the rings.
even just if it's touching, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not quite.
So this,
Good night, everyone.
it's splittable. Kind of play it as a run back and roll in, which you might
Yep.
not have to do yet.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's definitely tricky. Now, if you're Team Locke here, what do you do? I don't want to hit that
You
'cause it
almost
just
don't
makes
want
their
to touch
shot.
them and just
Yeah.
throw another counter in there is not the worst
Tap your own
idea.
to top 4.
Yep. Make them deal
Or
with
drop
it.
side at 8 foot somewhere. Not a bad situation.
It's tough. Another one in the rings, and it's really tough to play that sort of split and run back.
It is, yeah.
And make it count, right?
You're leaving the one you're running back probably in the 8 foot,
Yeah.
and you're leaving the.
And your shooter's going to be half of 12 or, at best, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you're only ever getting 8 foot and 12 foot.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
you still
so-
have to deal with one in the 8 foot and
The
then
call is
wherever
to
this
try
one
to put this
falls.
T
Yeah.
line in the 12 foot or in the 8 foot.
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're probably sort of
This looks
even
good. This
to
looks
top
like it's
4
coming in.
here. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming down. Though.
Yeah.
That
it's
really
pretty
died.
even.
It's good enough.
Now it does sort of leave that double.
Yeah.
So this is the third's last, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a pretty easy double there on the left. But you basically have to save that for Wendy's last.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you're playing that run back split, your shooter
You gotta
might roll
remove-
in the way of it
You
anyway.
got to remove both blues. Well, I think the shot here is probably to hit roll off the center and blues.
So they're just drawing.
Yeah.
And that's one way to go about it as well, is to just kind of get them married and hope that,
This is actually third's first.
third's first? Okay.
So you got 4 rocks left. You got to make for even count.
Yep.
And you can get an extra one by playing that run. So you got 5 to play with.
Yeah.
I don't hate this call, to be honest.
No.
Bury one here, then hit and roll on your next one.
Yeah. Looks like they're taking a little more ice here
Yeah.
than they had been,
And
which
then
is a good
hold.
call.
I guess on your last one, you can lay that run and try to stick it for
Yeah.
3.
Sweepers haven't really looked at this yet, but it's probably going to
It
snap
should
here.
die.
Once it crosses center, it should move. Right now,
it's
they're
heavy,
looking
though.
a little big.
Even if it's
I
back
don't
8.
think it's
Just get it
tragic,
buried.
though. Yeah. Probably back 12.
As long as it's in the rings buried, you don't really
You
care.
really want this to be out counting, like, at
Yep,
least one
that's
of
fine.
them. That's pretty good.
So it's buried, I think, or mostly buried.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always play the hit and roll on the one center line top 8
Yeah.
to behind the corner. And then you're hoping on your last one you can play that yellow, yellow, blue, and then stick your shooter on the one over on the M on the left, as we're seeing it here now.
It's like she's
Kind
going
of a
after
long
it.
double.
So, I mean, it's probably a little bit open.
Yeah, I don't think they quite got it buried.
Really, you're looking for, on that draw, you're looking to kind of overbury it a little bit.
Yeah.
as well,
Ideally,
right?
if you were out on behind the E or the slash and the
Yeah.
balloon, that would have been all right. They make
Still a
this go
tough shot,
away.
though.
It's going to be real tough now.
Yeah, then all of them will have to count.
Yeah. You're either burying 3 rocks or you're playing that split double
Yeah.
now and hope they miss
And
it.
if you're Wendy, you're kind of hoping she's maybe a little bit tight and helps you out with those
Yeah,
yellows
yes.
up top, right?
Yeah, if they spill one in for you, then
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Yeah, if you're Kaylee, I'd rather just straight flash here than,
Yeah,
than
100%.
touch those
I don't want
yellows.
to touch. I don't want to come near those
But
yellows.
this looks pretty
really
close. Yeah,
good. Yeah, this is
that's a
Golden Maid.
clinical curling shot. Yep. So,
So you
Wendy's
got-
down to her last three here
You got
now.
3 rocks left, with the possibility of getting 4 in.
Are you doing any more?
Yes.
I'd say you probably draw on this
I
one,
got 2 today, 1 tomorrow. one
Then hit
Saturday,
roll.
one Sunday.
then play the run, in that order. That's the only way I can see this possibly resulting in a 3.
Yeah.
I think if you play this run now, they're gonna hit one of the open ones, and if they sit first and third, you can't make it count.
Oh.
No,
Well,
they're
looks
gonna
like
play now.
looks like Wendy's skating up, so she's only got 2 rocks left.
No, well, in that case,
we're really
you have to
good.
play this now.
We're obviously the best at counting.
Yeah, not our strong suit tonight.
No, no. Never been my strong suit.
Yeah.
We got to get me an abacus out here now for the next draw.
So for you to see the clicking in the background.
It's the soothing sounds. Yeah, if this is Wendy's first, she's definitely got to play this split, I think. And if she can kind of roll her shooter to somewhere in front of those blues, it's
Yeah.
maybe you force
Well-
a hit out of Kate.
You almost have to make this and make the double. It's
We
really,
are, yeah.
You really don't have much choice.
This is
It's like a thin half. As we're looking at it, it's probably close.
not far off.
There's
That's
exactly
a great
what you
shot.
have to do. Oh, except you gotta get that out. Well, there's 2 of the 3 in the house.
It's a great effort, though. Let me tell
I
you.
just
So she
don't know
made the
how
sort
you-
of split there, but didn't quite have enough gusto to get the
Get that one
blue
out.
out.
You get that out of the rings,
Yeah.
or at least out of being third shot. I think.
Now,
You're
mind
good.
you, she just needed a straight flash out of Kaylee on this one way or the other.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah. So there was the hopes and prayers anyway. But
And even if they get a straight flash on this, it's a tough shot.
anyway, this will be a big win for Locke if she can
It is, yeah.
take out this yellow. It's nice to get sort of one in the W column early.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm
and
sure-
this is for all the ladies anyway. This is their second game of the day.
Yes, you're
they
right.
have a full
My
round robin
apologies.
with everybody,
Yeah.
which results in a much longer tournament. For those that don't know, the way this one's structured is the ladies' side is a full round robin. The men's is actually 2 pools. So, and that will
And
do
no
the job.
mistake made from Kaylee Locke on her
Nope.
last. So
There's
that
no way you're
is
getting
the
3
ball
now.
game, I believe, and handshakes are afoot.
Yep. So final score ends up being 6-3, and Locke ends up with a nice W to finish off the day.
So that'll be it from us here this evening. Thanks for tuning in. And
Yep.
Hey, if tomorrow you're looking for something to do during the day, why not try watching some curling? You know?
Yep. There'll be live stream games all week,
Live
all weekend.
streams,
So
or come down to the club, have a beer, support.
Yep,
Support
for
the
sure.
club. But
Signing off.
signing off.